Larry, because the name of the Iowa high school and the name of his county are similar.
Now they're 700 miles apart, and prosecutors later dropped that charge, saying Bouchart's post was not a threat under Tennessee law, but he still spent more than a month in jail. This lawsuit's expected to be filed early next year. That's the latest. Next, I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Briley Parkway southbound after McGavick Pike. Right lane blocked by a crash there in Opryland. Madison still got stop-and-go traffic. Not helped by the rain or construction there. That's a 9-minute delay. Northbound 65 between exit 98 and 92. Antioch got a crash. Left lane blocked 24 westbound at Harding Place. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends, one and all. It's the Matt Murphy Radio Show underway for another day. Happy to have you with us this Thursday, November 20 edition of the proceedings. Glad you could make it. It has been a rainy day all across Middle Tennessee, and the rain continues in some parts and should continue throughout the course, in drips and drabs throughout the course of the night, and eventually it will dissipate, I am told, by weekend. It's 7 minutes after 3 o'clock, getting things underway. Happy to have you with us on this Thursday. My name is Matt Murphy. Conveniently, this is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Let me get the pleasantries out of the way, and we'll get things lumbering under our own weight. You can always call the show, 615-737-9986, 615-737-WWTN. There's also a super text line available for you. For you shy types out there in the listening audience that want to comment but do not wish to call, you may do so by running over to the super text line, hitting us up that way. That's 615-737-9986. Plenty of ways to watch or listen to the radio show. We've got, obviously, a radio station for the radio show. It's 99.7 FM from Alabama to Kentucky and all points in between. You can also find us on a variety of apps Those applications include TuneIn, Spotify, iHeart, and our own SuperTalk 99.7 WTN. Download that. Take us wherever you go. And then, of course, there's Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. Today's episode, 929, is entitled what, Jackson?
FriJay on Friday Eve and more. The Murphy Show.
Jackson.
Yes.
We don't do Friday Eve on the show. Well, here's what I've always said. Friday comes once a week. It's every 7 days. Thursday is a perfectly acceptable way to describe the day before Friday. And I don't understand why everybody's so excited about Friday to begin with, because we have to work on Friday, at least most of us do. I would understand it more if we called Friday Saturday Eve, frankly. That said, you can say whatever you want, Jackson. It's a free country, and you've got your First Amendment rights. Right. But every time you say Friday Eve, a puppy dies.
A puppy does not die.
Yes, it does. Every time.
Why, are you killing the puppies?
There's a little puppy running about. Say it.
Friday Eve.
You just killed him. His little neck just snapped.
I've got a bone to pick.
Flopped over. I got a bone to pick with you, too. You knew you were about to kill a puppy. You did it anyway.
No, I've got a bone to pick. Not with you. With Nashville's Morning News.
And Dan Mandis. Uh-oh.
I notice our friend Phineas Huckleberry T. Tom Turkey
Yes, sir.
is no longer inflated in the studio.
He's stuffed in a corner.
I believe that to be the work of Dan Mandis.
He's not even inflated?
No.
He's gone, Ken.
No.
No, sir. That's not going to work.
They deflated Huckleberry, Phineas, Tom T. Turkey. No, Phineas, Huckleberry, Tom T. Turkey.
That is just, I believe it is.
It's outlandish is what it is.
Brother
It is
Dan
disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
It is repulsive.
And here's the worst part. Have you seen his Facebook page?
No.
The worst part was he used Huckleberry Phineas Tom T. Turkey, a.k.a. Phineas Huckleberry Tom T. I forget the order. He used him for a photographic opportunity to boost his profile on Facebook, and then unplugged him and let him deflate and balled him up and threw him in the corner.
Killed him. R.I.P. Phineas Huckleberry
Tom
T. Turkey.
Brother Dan Mandis.
I know. It's shameful, Ken. It's really, I mean, let me tell you, Ken. I'm just going to say the quiet part out loud. You left that morning show and things were we're all thinking it. We're all thinking. But I'm appreciative because you came to the afternoon show and you've kept us propped up single-handedly for the time that you've been here. I don't know how strong that back is, but you're carrying Jackson and myself around every single damn day, 3 to 7 in the afternoon.
I don't believe it for a second.
So y'all give Dan the business tomorrow morning on Nashville's Morning News. Look, I'm not going to put up with this. When we're
Wait. The super texters have spoken.
Yeah?
What'd they say?
Chris Hand killed the turkey.
It was Brother Chris Hand.
Now, Ken Weaver's here for Chris Hand's show.
I didn't even notice today.
Chris unplugged it.
Brother Chris Hand, he might not like turkeys. Maybe he doesn't believe in Thanksgiving.
I don't know.
I think Mandis unplugged it.
He's bringing this millennial trash in here with this racing seat. And then he's hitting me up saying, "Oh, you need to try it. You'll love it. I fixed it." I'm like, I'm not trying that thing. What are you talking about? I can't get in it anyway because Jackson every break comes in here and sits in it and talks about how wonderful it sits.
It's very comfy.
That's what I hear.
So, you know what? I know why Brother Chris Hand did it.
Why is that?
He had his buddy from Turning Point USA in there today, and they were doing some filming and things. So maybe Brother Chris Hand just did it temporarily and forgot to reinflate Phineas.
That's okay. That's all good. It's all good. Y'all can hate on Huckleberry Phineas, Tom T. Turkey all you want. That's fine. If the other shows hate Thanksgiving in America, and I mean that I can't control that. I control what happens between 3 and 7.
Hate Thanksgiving.
I mean, if y'all hate the United States of America, that's cool. If y'all don't want to give thanks, that's fine. Chad, Chris, whatever. I mean, not my business. Yes, we are aware. Watch Dan's crisscross handoff.
Oh.
Do I have to? No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. I'm
That's
kidding.
A joke. That's a joke.
Normally, I do watch the crisscross handoff. But is that what we call it? I thought it was. That's not the way.
Yeah,
that's not what it is. The crisscross.
I think it's the crisscross handoff. I do believe that's what it is.
I thought it was job. No. I got an email about that. It's not. It's not that.
It's not what, Matt?
It's not what I said. It's not the hand.
What, Matt?
It's not the hand job. It's the handoff. I mistakenly called it the other thing the other day, and I got in trouble about it.
You proud of yourself?
Proud of myself for what? I'm telling you what it's called. It's called the Chris. It's very confusing.
Tell me, come in there and plug that turkey in?
I'll get him. I'm going to get him during the break. We're going to get him back here in his position. We're going to plug him in. We got a big show for you today. I'm out tomorrow. For those of you curious, I'm at a financial seminar and real estate development speculation symposium. So we're going to be looking at some real estate, and we're going to be in a financial setting, trying to make sure that our finances are in order. That would be Jay St. Clair and myself. So FriJay on Thursday is today at 4:05. Jay's going to go over the, what are we calling it? The Epstein Transparency Law, which was passed by the Congress and signed by the president, and let us know what the outs are and what the ins are.
Excellent.
That's coming up at 4:05 this afternoon. Plus, he'll answer all of your legal questions at 615-737-9986. We've got lots to discuss. Obviously, there's lots going on. Plus, at 6:05 today, we'll veer away from the world of politics and into the world of Thanksgiving with Huckleberry, Phineas, Tom T. Turkey, and Holly from Savory Spice.
Yes,
so
sir.
she's stopping in, and she's going to answer any and all of your Thanksgiving questions. If you've got concerns about your stuffing or your dressing, if you got concerns about a dry bird, my grandma, best cook on planet Earth, but the woman made a dry bird.
Can't have a dry bird.
No, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. But like you said the other day, Ken, we'd carve into that white meat, and it's like a poof of dust comes out.
Just like
Cooked it. Yeah, you think? So we will have Holly in to help us with that. Plus, there's pumpkin pound cake in here.
son of a biscuit eater.
Now, this is Holly's pumpkin pound cake, as made by my wife. So the pumpkin pound cake is Holly's to give away if she so desires. But she made that with items from Savory Spice. And so that's Savory Spice in action right there. Plus, we've got a turkey brining kit to give away because Holly gave us a turkey brining kit on Saturday, and I'm going to tell we have a pre-ordered bird that's coming to Montgomery, Alabama, and I don't want to waste the turkey brining kit, so we thought we'd give it away to some of you guys. How about that? So there you go. That's on the docket today. First up, yesterday I said what I said, and there's been some reaction on what I said regarding the Epstein files, and I want to start right there. Oh, before I do, though, I am reminded, Monday, be with us. I will not be here tomorrow, so it is incumbent upon me to beg of you to be with us all day on Monday, starting early with Nashville's Morning News. What do y'all think about me taking Huckleberry, Phineas, Tom T. Turkey on location to the Nashville Rescue Mission?
I think you should.
How about
He
that?
took my spot.
Yeah, maybe so. Put him in the corner there, right there in the broadcast facility, or maybe put him in the call center. I think he would be a fabulous addition to the call center for Monday. The Radiothon happens Monday. It starts early at 5. We do it all day. It is one day out of the year that we don't talk politics. We don't talk other items. And, obviously we address the news that's going on during the day. But our focus is to raise money for a wonderful organization that does such good in our community. It's the Nashville Rescue Mission. It starts at 5 a.m. with Nashville's Morning News. Chris Hand at 9, Chad Benson at noon, Matt Murphy at 3. But all of us will be there all throughout the course of the day, assisting, doing what we can to try to raise money for the wonderful organization that is the Nashville Rescue Mission. Once again, that's coming up Monday, and it's our annual event. And we beg of you to dig deep as you can and give as you can to the Nashville Rescue Mission through Supertalk 99.7 WTN. So more on that throughout the course of the day, and certainly join us on Monday if you are able. Yesterday, I said what I said about the Epstein files, and I'm going to double down on it. I slept on it, and I woke up this morning more confident than ever that Donald Trump wants this issue to bed as best we can put it to bed. I also believe that Donald Trump is of the belief that whatever negative that has been said about him in these files is out there. And whatever negative is to come doesn't really have anything to do with Donald Trump. And with that in mind, Donald Trump gets the high ground if Donald Trump allows all of this to get out there. As I said yesterday, my fear, my belief is that if all of it comes out, it will splash back on the Democrats. The Democrats have claimed for the last several months that they want to see this information. The Democrats never demanded the information during the Biden administration, and it bears repeating as many times as we can scream it from the rooftops. The Democrats had 4+ years, and they never asked for the Epstein files. Nobody brought up the Epstein files in 4 years during the Biden administration. Do y'all remember talking about this during the Biden administration? Of course not. Because the Democrats put it on not just the back burner, they put it in the back closet and shut the door and locked it. Well, Trump brings it back up. And I've got to play this straight because this is the way it happened. Donald Trump brought it up on the campaign trail. Donald Trump asked questions about it. People that eventually made their way into the Trump administration asked questions about it. Like Kash Patel, like Dan Bongino. And here we are. But I'm wondering if Donald Trump was not playing a game of here, kitty, kitty. Y'all know what I mean? Here, kitty, kitty, come on over. Let's go. Just get a little bit closer, and you'll see you'll get what you're looking for. Because the Democrats have been screaming and howling about how much they want this information, and thus far, some of the drips and drabs on the information that we're getting on the Epstein files is Donald Trump was the one high, powerful, high-performing individual that Jeffrey Epstein couldn't bribe, which eventually ended their relationship and ended up with Donald Trump kicking him out of Mar-a-Lago. Then you see Democrats begging Jeffrey Epstein for information after he was a convicted pedophile. You see Democrats begging him to come to fundraisers like Hakeem Jeffries did. He was asked about that, and he's fumbling and bumbling over himself. I do believe that this will eventually splash back. What I said last night, my fear is this, that if the Trump administration uses some of the ongoing quote-unquote investigations as a way to prevent this information from coming out, I don't believe that's the play. I don't believe that's what they're going to do. But if you ask me if they do that, what happens? I don't know. I don't know where I'm at that point. I'm disillusioned to the point of I might be done. Because that's the type of government secrecy that I voted against in 2016. That's the type of swampiness that I believe our man, DJT, is trying to clean up. And if we do see it dumped, all of this will be done by Christmas. Even before then. If it splashes back on the Democrats like I think it might, you'll see the mainstream media clam up about this a week after Thanksgiving. A couple of weeks after Thanksgiving. Just watch. Just watch. That's the play, and hopefully that's the way to get it done. 615-737-9986. Hey, look who's going to the White House. It's socialist Mom Donnie. He's headed over to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. That's great news, huh? Afton Bain apparently hates Nashville now. We've got the audio. We'll play it for you. Makes nasty comments about Nashville and components of Nashville. And the national news is now noticing this political race, which I love. It makes me feel like Bruce Willis in Die Hard. Welcome to the party, pal. Where you been? We've been doing this for a minute. 22 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for the Wellness Institute of Nashville. You know, the Big Daddy Trump special is ongoing. They've been doing it for the latter portion of 2025, and it's been so popular, they're continuing it. They're making it happen during the holidays. That's a $12 comprehensive examination, x-rays if needed, a well-explained diagnosis, and your first treatment in the Wellness Institute of Nashville for $12. Are you kidding me? No, they're not making money on this. They're losing money on this, but they want to introduce you to the incredible pain-defying technology that is spinal decompression. That's truly what it is. It eliminates pain without the need for pills, without the need for needles, and without the consideration for surgery. And don't you want it that way? If you have pain in your back, your knees, your hips, your neck, your elbow, wherever it might hurt, get yourself over to the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Make the call and schedule an appointment today. 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009, or online at painisbad.com. That's painisbad.com for the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Hey, friends, Matt Murphy for King and Associates Insurance. You know, your home and your automobile are two of your biggest investments. You need to protect those investments with King and Associates. It's as simple as this. They protect both with coverage that fits your life and fits your budget. Whether you're a first-time homeowner, a growing family, or you're just shopping for better auto rates, make it simple. No pushy salespeople, just honest advice, personalized service, and policies that actually make sense. They're local, they're independent, and they work for you, not the big insurance companies. Visit tkinginsurance.com or call 329-8121. That's 329-8121. Home and auto, a free quote to give you peace of mind. King and Associates Insurance. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you. tkinginsurance.com. They protect what matters most.
We'll tell you what's in a new study that claims to know what it takes to live comfortably here in Tennessee. That's coming up at 3:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Look who is back.
Little Phineas.
Well, Phineas Huckleberry Tom T. Turkey III is back in the house, and he is blowing and going, but right behind me. How about that? You can check him out on Super Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. He is loud.
Dan gave him a different name.
Did he now?
Named her Afton.
Afton.
Yes.
I kind of like ours better.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and that's a Tom.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it's a Tom.
Yeah, it looks like a Tom to me.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got Tom's got one of these little things going.
Yeah, the Toms have that, right?
Right. That's Thomas Turkey.
Yes, sir.
But I get it. Afton Bay, sure. Blowing and going. Yes, I said blowing and going. You heard me. I said what I said. Anyway, we're Tom will be making a disappearance later on today because I can't trust these people with Huckleberry Phineas, Tom T. Turkey III, and so we'll pack him up and we'll put him away for the holiday. I mean, Ken, I would trust you with him if you want me to entrust him to you, but he'll be back next week. I mean, we're back Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. We'll put him back out.
Yeah,
for the holiday.
I'd take him home, but I can't fit him in my Elantra. And he probably wouldn't be safe in it anyway.
Oh, man. I would love to see. You strap him into the passenger seat, Ken.
You can hit the HOV lane on the way home.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, that'll get you home on 24 jiffy quick. You got Tom T there in the HOV. Old Huckleberry Phineas with his head out the window.
Give him a little taste of the fast lane.
Oh, boy. He'd love it, too.
Bo duking it all the way down to Murfreesboro in a Hyundai Elantra.
I'd pay good money to see it. You in a Hyundai with Tom in the passenger seat. Do you think it'd be fun? Hey, how's the AC in the old Elantra?
It doesn't work.
Well, but you don't have to worry about it now. It's cool.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about it right now.
Hey, you like the cold. There's a good reason to like the cold weather. You don't have to worry about the AC.
Well,
didn't you have something else going on with it?
Yeah. I went to change a light bulb in my windshield brake light. You know, you're just supposed to be able to just boop, twist it, and it comes right out. Well, I boop, and the whole damn thing just crumbled like a Ritz cracker.
Those little paper-made, stupid plastic parts that they go in there. Yeah, they crumble after a while, Ken. You know what that's a sign of?
What?
New car time.
No, sir.
No?
I do not want a car payment.
Okay.
I do not want it.
All right. Well, I'm just telling you.
I'm going to drive this thing into the ground.
So you are you getting help with the brake lights or what?
Well, I'm working on it. I'm going to do it myself. I'm not paying a whole bunch of money just to change a light bulb in my car.
Good for you, Ken. That's the entrepreneurial spirit I know and love. I believe in you, Ken.
It's just like the cabin filters. You know what the labor is on a cabin filter?
Yeah, I just had the dude do it when he replaced my radio console. He called me and he said, "Hey, your cabin filter's way past due. You want me to go ahead and do it?" I said, "Yeah, I guess so."
Don't do that again, Brother Murphy.
You know how much the cabin filter was, Ken?
How much?
$150. $150.
No, sir.
Just to put a cabin filter in, and I think the cabin filter is probably $30, so it's $120.
That's pretty much it.
My Lord. But nowadays at these dealerships, that's like a half-hour labor, $120.
Yeah.
Good gracious.
Well, and I mean, it depends on how easy it is to get to your cabin filter. I mean, you got a big old truck. I mean, that's a big old truck.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Well, there's two filters. There's the See, this is what I don't get. When you and I were growing up, Ken, you had the filter.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That was an air filter. Engine filter.
It was but now you've got the air filter for the engine and you've got an air filter for the cabin.
Right.
Well, what? What the hell? Fancy, highfalutin vehicles, I guess. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It's way past news time. 3:31 on Super Talk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Ever wonder what it takes to live comfortably here in Tennessee? Well, a new study by travel and financial information company Upgraded Points, posted on Channel 4's website, claims that a single adult needs about $96K a year. Two adults, $126K. Add a child, that's $165K. And families with 3 kids, $224K. That's covering essentials, fun money, and savings. Nearly 3 weeks after a UPS cargo plane crashed in Louisville, immediately after takeoff, the NTSB's out with new images, giving investigators a better idea of what may have caused the crash. ABC News transportation reporter Sam Sweeney has more.
This airplane never had a chance, no matter what those pilots did. This was a catastrophic failure, and now they are focusing on metal fatigue cracks around the parts of that engine. And this is exactly why they grounded all of these other jets in the fleet so they can be inspected.
The images show the moment the engine erupts into flames and detaches from the plane. Investigators determined the MD-11 did not climb higher than 30 feet before crashing. 14 people killed in that crash, and UPS grounded its entire fleet of MD-11s following the crash. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Woodbine, we've got a crash on I-24, and it's in the worst of places. The center lane as you're approaching I-440. Madison still dealing with construction delays. Stop-and-go traffic through Madison 65 northbound between exits 98 and 92. In Antioch, got a crash going westbound on 24, blocking the left lane right there at Harding Place. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Eurofix. My man, Aaron Stokes, has been doing this for a while, y'all, for over 25 years now. Since 1999, he's been servicing and providing superior quality service at a better rate than the dealers. You know, friends, Eurofix simply does it the right way. You might not know this, but there's an as an auto repair company, they pay their techs even more than anybody else. Why and how can they do that? Well, you know, a good technician's hard to find, and they want to pay their good techs because they want happy techs. Happy techs make people that are going to fix your car faster. They're going to do the job the right way the first time. Everything out there has to be worked on. You know, Eurofix is not open on weekends because they try to give their techs the weekends to spend time with family as well. Why Eurofix is open Monday through Friday, and that's they do the job below dealer pricing. And Aaron Stokes figured out a long time ago that you make a happy technician, make a happy mechanic, and you'll have a happy company, and you'll have happy customers as a result. Call 844-EUROFIX. That's 844-EUROFIX, or go online at myEuroFix.com. That's myEuroFix.com. Don't forget, 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on all repairs performed, plus a rental car available with every appointment at Eurofix. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. There's a little bit of a scam going on, and I want to make you aware of it, and then we'll get to some of the action happening in Washington, D.C. today. Caroline Leavitt took to the podium in the White House press room and wagged her fingers to a certain degree at the assembled press, and rightly so, because the press and their minions in the Democrat Party, they're freaking out over what they claim Donald Trump did with regard to the United States military, and some of the Democrats calling on the military to just be in insubordination, and Trump called it sedition, that they were encouraging sedition within the United States military. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But right now, we want to welcome back our good friend of the show, Brenda Willis, who calls us with something of a scam that she's been made aware of, and I think maybe some of this came to her personal life. Hey, Brenda, how are you?
I'm good, Matt. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Everything going well? You ready for St. Patty's Day yet? Oh, wait, no, Thanksgiving.
It's come on. We got to do Thanksgiving and Christmas first.
I guess
Yeah,
so.
I'm shopping for my turkey right now, taking a look and seeing which one I'm going to pick.
What do you for as large a family as you got, Brenda? How big of a bird do you have to pick up? I mean, you got a lot of kids.
Yeah, usually like 2 20-something pounders, 2 big ones.
Gracious. Lord have mercy. Well, I hope the prices are down for you.
They are. Looks like it's 49 cents a pound. That's a pretty good deal.
Oh, that's not bad. So talk to me. You were telling me yesterday, and we meant to have you on yesterday about it, but there's a scam rolling around that some in your circle have experienced. What's going on?
So I went and had tea with a good friend of mine, and she was telling about her daughter, who's 22 years old, who got a phone call. She was told that she missed jury duty and that she was going to be arrested. And so the girl panicked, and they said, well, there is a fine you can pay, and da-da-da. So anyway, it was a very long process. It took like 4 to 5 hours, kept her on the phone, and they were very good. They verified, hey, this is your address, this is your phone number, this is your this is. And she was thinking, this is legit. They're giving badge numbers and everything from the whatever county, sheriff's department. Anyway, she ended up paying a very, very large sum of money to these people, and can't be traced. She's now spoken to detectives and everything, and they can't trace it. Oddly enough, the very next day, I got the call as well. Ma'am, this is so-and-so from the such and such, county sheriff's department, and you didn't show up for jury duty. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, let me guess. You're going to have me draw out a bunch of money, and you're going to have me wire it to you, you scammer. Goodbye. So I smarted off to him.
Mm-hmm.
But then I found out another friend had it happen, and they were duped. So anyway, I just want people to know this is happening. So if you get a call saying you missed jury duty, hang up quick. Or if you feel like playing with them for a while, do that. But don't take.
Don't fall for it. It's easy for us to sit here and say don't fall for it, but if you're under the gun and you're not aware of how the police do their business, if you're not aware of how all of this works, call it naive at our own peril. But it could be scary for people, and sadly, people do, unfortunately, fall for these types of scams.
Yeah, well, they make it sound really legit. Like, I read the one that I sent you today. They had him go to a website. In fact, he was starting to say, this is a scam. This can't be real. And they're like, well, here's my badge number. Here's my this. Here's my that. Here, go to this website. And so they made it sound really legit. I mean, I didn't get that far, so I don't know how legit it is. But they're getting people, and I just want people to know.
Well, y'all be on the lookout. So these are folks that they claim they're from what, the sheriff's department?
Yes.
And they say, you missed jury duty and you're going to be arrested unless you can pay your fine right now.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, that's awful.
Yeah.
Well, and sadly, I mean, the folks do it because it works on occasion, and y'all just be on high alert and just know that that's not the way that the sheriff's department operates. They're never going to ask you to. They're never demanding money to prevent you from going to jail. They're not going to do it that way.
Never. No. And I did call my sheriff's department, by the way, after it happened to me, and they said, yeah, sadly, we're getting a whole bunch of these calls. And I said, you're not able to trace it? And they said, we can't trace it. So they're struggling. I don't know what resources they're putting towards finding it out, but they haven't been able to track it down, and they are getting lots of calls saying that many people are experiencing this.
Well, thank you for giving us the heads up, Miss Brenda. Good luck on the turkey shopping, and I'm glad you got the information out there for us.
You're welcome. You guys have a
All
great
right.
afternoon.
All right, you do as well. There's Brenda Willis joining us for a few minutes. Tammy has a thought on this. Oh, no, Tammy went away. Craig then has a thought on this scam. Hey, Craig.
Hey, yeah, I got the same call, but it was from the FBI, and it was so legit. They sent me copies of the warrants for my arrest
What?
from the county. Yes. They'd send it to me through my email.
Holy moly! So walk me through how this happened. So they called you and they said, "Hey, was it a jury duty scam?"
It was jury duty scam, and it was a federal case. So, and it was $9,000. There was 2 warrants, $4,500 apiece, and it was so legit. I almost fell for it, but man and wife talked about it, and then we went to the local police department, and they ran to make sure I didn't have any warrants.
Whoa, man! Scammers keep up. They keep coming up with new crap, man. This is a new one on me. This is new to me. That's crazy.
Yes.
When did
as a matter of fact,
go ahead? When did this happen to you, Craig?
First time was April, and then they tried it again. It was like June, and I realized who it was, and I just told them, I was like, "You're full of beat." I'm a police officer, so I would know, which I'm not, and I know it's illegal, but and I've had no more calls from them.
Good gracious alive. That's awful. Well, I'm glad you didn't fall for it, Craig. Some do, and it's bad. But like Craig says, we talk about it on the radio, and you think, well, my goodness gracious, who would fall for that? But apparently they make it so legitimate. They make it so real, as Craig just mentioned. They sent him, quote, unquote, the warrants via email. And those look legit, and somebody like Craig almost falls for it. Just don't let your family members fall for this. The sheriff's department's not going to call you like that. If you need to be arrested by the sheriff's department, they're going to show up. And trust me, from my past experience, they show up early in the morning while you're still in bed. And they knock on the door and they say, "Hey, are you Matt Murphy?" And you say, "Well, yeah, I'm Matt Murphy. You need to come with us. Might want to put some shoes on."
Pretty sure the FBI will show up at your door, too.
Yeah, I think that's probably the way they're going to do that as well. 46 after the hour, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. So y'all be aware and on the lookout for that sort of thing. So Donald Trump has now responded to the political left. I don't know if you saw the original post provided by leftist Democrats. And I'm going to play that for you first. And if you're watching on Talk TV, you can see the video that accompanies the audio on this. These are Democrat members or former members of military, the United States military, or the intelligence community. And they have a message. They're speaking directly to our United States military. This was the original post that started the brouhaha that's going on in Washington, D.C. right now. Let's watch and let's listen.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community
who take risks each day
to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens. Like us, you all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
but from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
the Army,
or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
And know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
the American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
All right, so how brave of these liberal Democrats to come out with a public declaration. And here's the way that they do these things. They make insinuations. They play fast and loose with the language. They say, you don't have to follow illegal orders. Well, what illegal orders are you talking about? Your suggestion is that they should refuse to follow the orders of their commanding officers within the chain of command because, what, they decide that those orders are illegal? That's not how any of this works. Now, obviously, if you are asked to do something that is clearly extracurricular to the Constitution of the United States of America, but they want to pretend that the President of the United States is asking the United States military to do something that is extracurricular. What is that exactly? And there is a process by which you go through to determine whether or not a president has exceeded his authority as commander-in-chief. That process involves the judicial branch of government. Or, in the long term, the legislative branch of government. You can pass laws that limit the executive's authority to do certain things on American soil or beyond, if you so desire, and if you get it through the Congress. And then you have to have the President of the United States himself or herself to sign it. But you know what you're doing. You're throwing a rock and you're hiding your hand. You're throwing a rock and you're telling these people within the military to disobey orders. And then you're saying, well, we're not saying, they're saying you don't have to obey illegal orders. You don't have to obey illegal orders. And then they claim, well, we never said that there were any illegal orders happening. We're just telling them that you don't have to obey illegal orders. What orders are you talking about? Be specific. What you're doing is you're undermining the credibility of the commander-in-chief. You're undermining the credibility of the chain of command, and you're doing it on purpose. The American people need you to stand up for our laws and our Constitution. That's exactly what we're doing. And oh, by the way, you Democrats, were you standing up for our laws and our Constitution when you allowed Joe Biden as commander-in-chief to allow a flood, an insurrection of illegal aliens to come into this country? During the 4 years of the Biden administration, by conservative estimates, 6 million people came into the United States of America illegally in 4 years. 6 million people. That is on top of the millions of people who are already here illegally. And while I understand that you're compassionate for these individuals and you feel bad for these individuals, they're also here, wait for it now, illegally. And what you would have done, whether it's in Charlotte, North Carolina or Nashville, Tennessee, is just allow this to go on. I've asked the question repeatedly. If you do not have consequences for breaking the rules, then the rule that you broke doesn't mean anything. And I don't know if you're talking about this. I don't know if you're talking about the drug runners, because you won't say. You won't tell us what you're insinuating, because that's the point. The insinuation is the point. And it's childish, and it's gross, and it's not only disrespectful, but what you are asking people to do is violate the chain of command in such a way that could be illegal. You're asking people to commit illegal acts, ultimately. Now, the president's having none of it, and the president of the United States has suggested that this rises to the level of sedition. Today, Caroline Leavitt had a few things to say about it, and we'll play her thoughts on it in just a moment. She held a press conference, or was holding a White House press function as press secretary of the White House. We'll play that for you next. Jim wants to talk about scams. Jeff wants to talk about the Democrats. I want to talk to all of you, plus FriJay coming up in just a few. It's 52 after the hour on Super Talk. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Men of Valor. Men of Valor, what a wonderful organization. What a great effort that they make in our prison systems every day of the year. But now, this time of year, many of you might be thinking about giving. And if you are thinking about giving, might I recommend Men of Valor as a wonderful opportunity for you to give as you can, or volunteer if you will. Men of Valor equip men getting out of the prison system with tools and resources that they need to succeed upon being released, including housing, food, clothing, transportation, identification, employment, recovery, and much, much more. Plus, they give them a sense of purpose. And through God Almighty, They turn their minds around and they turn takers into givers in society, and that's what we need. Productive members of society coming out of our prison system, not career criminals. That's what it's all about. Men of Valor also lowers the recidivism rate to the point where we're saving money as a result. Will you give as you can? Volunteer if you will. Men of Valor. Go to movministry.com. That's movministry.com. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you to Men of Valor.
A new study shows how much money it takes to live comfortably in Tennessee, and police warning drivers about a new high-tech method criminals are using to steal your car. We'll tell you about it at 4 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Why, thank you, Ken Weaver.
You're welcome, Brother Murphy.
Talking scams, too.
Scams.
Yeah, a lot of you are saying I don't answer phone. You know, I rarely answer numbers that I don't recognize, but if I'm expecting a call from someone that might be calling me from a number I don't recognize, I'll answer the phone then. But let me tell you something. I don't get mad at these people. If I get somebody on the phone that's trying to scam me or someone on the phone that's trying to sell me something, I have fun with them.
You play with them.
I keep them on the phone for as long as I can. I talk to them. So what I like to do you got to slide in there slow. You know, you got to slide into those DMs, as they say, as the kids say. And eventually I start asking them what they're wearing. So I tell them that I don't like doing business. If it's a business person that wants to do business with me, I say, you know, I'm very uncomfortable with doing business with somebody that I don't know. Would you mind us getting to know one another a little bit before we start talking about business? And they get confused, and they say, eventually I convince them to say yes. And that's when I say, so what are you wearing?
I start rattling off a fake Social Security number, and I get about 4
8, 6,
numbers
7,
in, and then I go, oh, hold on. Wait a minute. That's not the right one. Hold on just a moment. I'll be right back.
I
give me a
have two
second.
rules when it comes to phone calls.
What's that?
I don't answer calls from Matt Murphy, and I don't answer spam calls.
I can tell you that first one is the damn truth. Good gracious. What did I tell you the last time I called you and left a message?
When I call you,
When
answer.
I called you, you answer. You should be thinking about me and this radio show 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Every moment of your waking life, you should be thinking, how can I make Matt Murphy's life better? And we pay you poorly to do so. And that is a fact. No. You play with these people. Have a good time with them. Just, you know.
They ever call you bad? I had one call me a nasty name one time and then hang up on me.
My goal is to get them to hang up on me without yelling at them or cursing at them.
Right.
So you just be syrupy sweep, and then you translate that into creepy. What are you wearing? Really? Boy, oh boy. You know, you should wear pink. Really brings out your eyes. What color's your hair? And that's to the dudes, right?
Yeah.
That's me talking to the guys. It's time for the news.
That's pretty creepy.
I know. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes, and a new study by travel and finance information company Upgraded Points defines how much money Tennesseans need to make for a comfortable living. Here's Channel 4's Steve Mailing.
The study says living comfortably means you spend about half your income on necessities like housing, food, and health care, saving 30% for discretionary spending like going out, shopping, and other events, and the final 20% for any debt you may owe. It's something local union workers tell us is hurting the workforce, and they need higher paying jobs or raises to come across the board to help make ends meet.
Yeah, so this study says 2 adults need to make about $126K, and with 1 child, it's more than $165K. Families with 3 kids, the study says you need more than $224K. Maybe this will help. Amazon's issuing refunds after a $2.5 billion settlement over Prime memberships. Automatic payments began November 12th. They'll continue through December 24th via PayPal or Venmo with checks mailed if unclaimed. Refunds are up to $51 for customers who signed up between June 2019 and June of this year and had trouble canceling or rarely used Prime. If you don't get an automatic refund, you can file a claim starting December 24th. Police warning drivers about a new high-tech method criminals are using to steal cars with keyless ignition systems. It's called a relay attack. It's when thieves capture your key fob's signal inside your home by holding up an antenna outside. Lieutenant Brian Greer is with the Philadelphia Police Department.
They will take an antenna near your front door. Another person with another type of antenna will extend the signal from your proximity device to that car to open the car door, push start the car, and drive off.
Now, to help protect yourself, authorities suggest putting your fob in a Faraday box or pouch to block the key's signal. And they say old-fashioned steering wheel locks deter car thieves, too. Tennessee Secretary of State's ordered all regional libraries to review children's and juvenile books for compliance with state and federal guidelines. Libraries in Tennessee have 60 days to complete the review and submit a report by January 19th. Officials warned that failure to comply would put more than $3 million in annual funding at risk. The directive has sparked debate, with critics calling it censorship, supporters saying it protects kids and resources. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Glen Cliff got a crash blocking the center lane, that is, 24 eastbound approaching Briley Parkway. Over here on I-40, eastbound at Fessler's Lane, police say there's a crash. B&A got a disabled vehicle blocking the right lane, 40 eastbound at Donaldson Pike. Creve Hall, a crash, 65 southbound at Harding Place. Brentwood, a crash blocking the right lane, 65 southbound at Concord Road. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It is 7 minutes after 4 o'clock on Super Talk. Glad to have you with us. Thank you for being here. Whatever time you're able to give us, we're certainly appreciative of that. We've got 3 more hours of what we hope to be Talk Radio Excellence on this Thursday edition. I mentioned that it is Thursday, my Friday. That means it is a pretend Friday for FriJay. We're going to get into that in just a moment after I make sure that everything is what it should be. You got... Are you on top of this, Jackson? Are you working it behind the scenes?
I'm working on it. He can't hear me, though.
He said he doesn't have anything right now. He says he can't hear us. If you've got do you have his cell?
Send it to me.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. So maybe you guys can work on this thing and get it figured out. We're working on FriJay. Maybe the system is just annoyed with us because we're trying to do FriJay on Thursday, and the powers that be doesn't care for that. I am airdropping this to you as we speak. So there you go. 615-737-9986. As we work that out, Jim had a thought about these scams that we were talking about during the first hour. Man, it's the holiday season, and these scammers come out of the woodwork during the holiday season, and they'll try anything to get into your wallet, get into your bank account. Jim, what do you got?
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Yeah, how are you?
Can you? Good. You know, I had a goofy story about the scam, but once you start talking about these Democratic leaders and how they address our military, you're making me change my subject.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when a Marine goes, when a young man goes to Marine Corps boot camp, within the first week, sometimes the first day, they are taught the definition of discipline, which is the instant, willing obedience to orders. And when you have these partisan Democratic leaders jump on there and address the young service member of the country directly and put doubt within their head that maybe something coming from their commanders or their staff NCOs is going to be an unlawful order, you are affecting the instant and the willing obedience to those orders, which is directly tying into the discipline of our armed forces. And by doing this nonsense, it's only going to hurt. And I'll tell you what, the ones that said that they were officers in the military, they would never stand for this. And they would say, if a politician said this while they were in command, they would jump to the forefront and say, this is a disgusting attempt to affect the discipline of my unit. And I tell you, and that's why I changed my story from the scam, Matt.
But listen, Jim, hold on. I want to ask you about the scammers, but I appreciate the passion that you bring to this tale. And it is an obvious intent, and they know what they're doing. They're throwing rocks and hiding their hands. They know exactly what they're doing. They're pretending like, what? We didn't say anything. We're just saying that if an illegal order happens, well, say what you mean. If you believe that what Donald Trump is doing with regard to Venezuela and the drug runners in Venezuela is illegal, then go to a court of law and challenge the executive, the commander-in-chief in a court of law that what he is doing is in violation of the law, and that's the proper way to do it. What you don't do is you don't try to sow the seeds of insurrection within the United States military, which is exactly their point.
Exactly. It's like the worm tongue of the Lord of the Rings character when the guy was speaking in the ear of the king, and he went, it's just this insinuation that something's coming that's wrong. You don't talk about lawful orders, usually in the time of war, making sure people follow the rules of engagement and they don't do something illegal to the laws of war. But to say, unlawful orders, that's just ridiculous.
Garbage.
I spent 21 years in the Marine Corps. We didn't talk about unlawful orders until I was in a combat situation. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Well, thank you for your service, Jim. Thank you for your telephone call. Anything on the scammers you want to add?
Just say a year or so ago, somebody called me, said he was an officer with CBP, and that a package had been intercepted from Mexico with a box full of cocaine or something with my address on it. And if I didn't send a $1,000 fine, a warrant was going to be sent out for my arrest with the U.S. Marshals. He gave me his name and his badge number. And I said, well, let me go talk to my lawyer. I'll get back to you. And he says, you got till midnight, and a warrant will be issued. And so I Googled his name and number, and it came up as a CBP scam.
Oh, man.
So that's all you can do is Google. Google can save you sometimes.
Amen. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, do your homework, do your due diligence. Jim, thank you for the call. Jim, man, with the fire in that call today, absolutely love it. Jim also giving us the Lord of the Rings reference, which I would not have gotten had I not watched the entire trilogy recently. I watched it a little earlier this year and absolutely loved it, enjoyed it. It was great. I think I watched the Peter Jackson edition too, which was like 14 hours of my life in 3 movie episodes. But anyway, I know I get the reference that Jim was throwing down there, and it was a very good one. You're right. Yeah, they want to whisper into the ears of these folks, and they want to convince them they're doing the right thing. On the scam front, just know this, that, as 9583 has noted, and many of you have reached out to us, law enforcement is not going to notify you in advance of a criminal warrant ever, ever, ever. They're never going to give anyone the heads up that they're about to arrest them. Because when you get a heads up, you know what criminals do? They run. and law enforcement does not want you to run. Look, it embarrasses me to say I've been arrested twice in my life. Been put in jail twice in my life. And one of the times I was put in jail, I got a knock on I was briefly living with my grandparents. I had come back home to Augusta, outside of Augusta, Georgia, Thompson, Georgia, Thomson, no P in Thompson. Thank you. And I lived in North Augusta, South Carolina for a while. And then eventually the person that I was rooming with, they were selling their home. And so I had to move out of that place. And I moved back with my grandparents for like 4 or 5 months. Well, unbeknownst to me, I had written a bad check in South Carolina. And they were sending my bad check notice to the previous address, to the address on the check. That was in South Carolina. And I was across the way in Georgia. Well, they came and got me. And they took me away, and I had to deal with it, and it was very embarrassing, and I was in my early 20s, and I obviously, it's embarrassing to mention, but it happened. Point being is they come very early, and they knock on your door, and they take you away. They don't give you a call, and they say, hey, if you don't pay us, we're going to come and arrest you. That's not the way that any of that works. That's not the way that any of that works. For some reason, we can't get our system to work. How are we doing over there, Jackson? We figuring it out? Not good? Yeah? So no
video for Jay today.
No video, but he's on the line?
He is on the line.
Give us the music anyway. Can we have the music at least? I'd feel better.
Good morning, Americans. It's FriJay.
We did it this way for a long, long time. I suppose on this Thursday, Pretend Friday, we can do it this way again. Whether we see him on video or just hear him on the radio, he is a breath of fresh air. He is a vision of loveliness. He is my best friend. He's the finest legal mind I know, and he's a good Tennessee man. He is Jay St. Clair. What's up, Jay?
Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
Man, if I were any better, we'd be bent over that craps table right now, hollering for a hard 10.
Financial investment seminar. That's what we call it. Financial investment. I've been telling folks we're going to a financial investment seminar and real estate development symposium.
Absolutely. No, it's absolutely. Well, that makes it tax deductible.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Does the IRS listen to your show?
I hope so.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
These are the jokes, folks. It's a comedy show.
Back when I had my race car and I was racing full time, people said, well, do you have a sponsor? And I said, well, if I had to put on the side of the car who made it possible for me to do this, it would say the Internal Revenue Service.
Amen, brother. That's right. Well, lots to talk about, and I invite folks to get their calls in if you so desire at 615-737-9986, or get your questions in via the super text line at the same number, 615-737-9986. I asked you the question earlier, Jay, what you make of this law that was passed. I guess it's a law now, the Epstein Disclosure Act, I suppose it's called, that the House of Representatives passed it, and then the Senate passed it by unanimous consent, and Trump signed it. Give us the 100,000-foot view of this thing.
Well, I don't know what's going on. I understand pieces of it. I guess the piece of it I don't understand is why Trump did not want it to be disclosed. Because I think he campaigned on doing it.
He did.
And I don't know what changed his mind. The only thing, and he's never really articulated that clearly, but I think the only thing I can get from it is he did not want that to dominate the news.
Right.
He wants it to be positive news. You know how he is. And I'm certain that it's not that he's protecting himself. As we've talked about, Matt, trust me, if there were anything in there that would cause Trump the slightest embarrassment, we would have heard about it before the elections. There's zero chance of that happening.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not protecting himself. I don't know, is he protecting some of his buddies? I don't think so, because the same thing there. If there were Republicans who have unflattering things about that in there, we would have already heard that.
You'd think.
So
Yeah.
the piece of it that I can't understand is why he was objecting to producing it. But anyway, we're past that now, and we'll see. So far, it's a self goal. Is that the soccer term? Or
own goal. I think
own
is
goal.
yeah,
Okay.
own
So
goal.
it's an own goal, or hoisted on their own petard.
Oh, I love that one. I love that. Yeah. That's Shakespeare, Jay. I love that coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's been. So, and that's what I think it's going to be, man, because, look, the Democrats have had this for, at least 4 years. And if there was anything in there that would have hurt any of their political opponents, trust me, we would know chapter and verse. So, we'll see. It kind of reminds me, remember for years it was New York or somebody up there was trying to get Trump's tax returns. And I think it was Congress.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, eventually.
Big deal. And same kind of deal there, man, as I think about this more. Trump said, no, you can't, no. And every other president has always voluntarily produced them. He said, no, I'm not going to do that. And then finally there was a court case. He said, yeah, they can have it. And we never heard a peep.
Never heard about it again. Because
it just disappeared.
And the reason, of course, was that the people that wanted to look at him so bad, because they knew that there was they knew there were shenanigans in there. Right. They looked at it, and it was a tax return, and he paid his taxes, and he gave to charity, and there was nothing to see, and so we never heard about it again.
Yeah, so I think it's going to play out kind of the same way. Trump fought, disclosure, fought, and then it got disclosed, and everybody says, oh, really? Okay, well, let's move on. And I think that's certainly what's going to happen with Trump, and I think it's going to happen with anyone close to Trump. So it'll be the odd stuff that comes out, like this congresswoman texting with Epstein,
right,
in the middle of a hearing. And I don't know, maybe there'll be some dignitaries, and there's some governor over in England that may be in trouble about it with the royal family, and I don't know.
Well,
I don't think it's going to be earth-shattering.
I want we'll take a short time out with our man Jay St. Clair. If you have a question or a comment, 615-737-9986, any legal question whatsoever, you can get them in here via the super text line or on the phone lines, and we'll get to Jay. He's with us, FriJay, on Thursday on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I will ask the question of Jay in a moment. What, if anything, can be redacted? Or does the law say anything about what can and cannot be included? And if there are redactions, what are the rules of the road when it comes to that? We'll get into that in just a moment. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for USS, which stands for United Structural Systems. Since 1994, USS has been guaranteeing their best, and they have delivered. They've delivered over and over again. As a matter of fact, thousands upon thousands of testimonials available online at USSTN.com. Over 30,000 satisfied residential customers. That's a lot of customers, folks. You don't do as many jobs as they've done without doing it the right way. And frankly, folks, when you have a problem in your home, whether it's your foundation, waterproofing, or concrete leveling, you ought to call the best. You owe it to yourself. Call USS. They come out to your house. They're problem solvers. They don't upsell you on anything. They're just solving the issue that exists in your home. Sometimes they have to tell you the bad news. Sometimes they get to tell you good news. One way or the other, you know that they're telling you the truth about what you need to do. And friends, it's time to make that call. If you've noticed foundation issues, if you've noticed issues involving door sticking, window sticking, perhaps moldy or musty smells in the basement or crawl space, make the call to USS. 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855. It's USS, online at USSTN.com.
A lawsuit has been filed to stop the state's new private school voucher program. We'll tell you about that more at 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Get your questions, get your thoughts in, get your comments in to our guy, Jay St. Clair, on this FriJay edition on Thursday. On Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Several of you have thrown out questions on the Super Text line. You may do so. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. If you'd like to get your thoughts in, we appreciate that. All right, I'm going to, I guess are we still working on the back and forth? We're going to stick with the phone lines for now? Stick with the phone lines for now? Okay. Very good. Jay, we had to abandon Zoom and get back to the good old telephone, but luckily we have that backup option with us. And Jay, I was going to ask real quick before we go to calls on the on other matters. So this, by my reading of it, it compels the Department of Justice to release this information within 30 days, to put it up on a website that is easily to access from the American public. And it gives them very little wiggle room in terms of not releasing information. Am I reading that correctly?
No, you said that right. The exceptions to it is anything. Well, this could be pretty broad. Is that anything that is classified, and the government can certainly overclassify stuff. But the other specific ones are any info documents that contain personally identifying information of victims. Right, and everybody gets that. Anything that depicts or contains child sexual abuse materials. Anything that would jeopardize an active federal investigation.
Okay.
Or ongoing prosecution. And I think Joan Bondi has said she's unaware of anything that will apply there. Anything that depicts or contains images of death, physical abuse, or injury of anybody. And then information specifically authorized under criteria established by an executive order to be kept secret. So, yeah, they built some wiggle room in there, but not a lot. I mean, Trump could, it gives him the authority to issue an executive order saying this or that should be kept secret. But I think given the way the politics of this is shaking out, Matt, I don't anticipate him doing it.
Yeah, I said yesterday that from a political perspective, through that lens, I think if they try to shield some of this from the public at this point, I just think he recognizes he's too good at politics to not understand how that will blow back on him.
No, that's right. I mean, there's only reason that the wicked flee even when no one pursues, but the righteous are bold as a lion.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
if people try jury cases in the South, you got to be able to quote some scripture.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a lot, but I know Proverbs 28:1. And there's only one reason that somebody tries to hide something, man, because they think it hurts them.
Right.
I mean, that's the only, or it hurts somebody they like.
Right.
Well, I mean, those are the first reasons that come to mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like. And so, no, I think he's figured out which way the wind's blowing on this. And so I think there'll be a pretty full job. I also think that it's not going to be what people think.
I agree. I think sadly the cake has been baked for most individuals in terms of what. So when people in their minds decide what they think is there, I use the phrase an absence of information leads to speculation, right?
Right.
And so I think people have decided what they think is in the file, what the Epstein files mean to them. If they don't see that at this point, they're going to decide that something else happened, that, they destroyed it during the Biden administration, or they hid stuff during the this or that. And we're sadly at that stage of these proceedings. But, I don't think there's going to be nearly as much inflammatory information in these files as people believe.
Right, I agree.
Jay St. Clair is with us. He is here for the better part of the hour. We're going to put him on hold. We're going to get back to Super Talk 99.7 WTN questions and comments. I got Thomas, I got Larry, I got Mike, I got CJ, I got another Mike, and I got a Gary, and I got a bunch of a bunch of questions on the Super Text line, and that's all coming up after news on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Living comfortably in Tennessee? Well, a new study by travel and financial information company Upgraded Points, published on Channel 4's website, says a single adult needs about $96,000 a year, while two adults would be about $126K. One child jumps to more than $165K. Families with three kids, $224K. This report factors in necessities. We're talking about 50% of your pay. Discretionary spending about 30%. Then savings, to define what comfortable really means, would be 20%. Amazon is issuing refunds after agreeing to a $2.5 billion settlement over misleading Prime signups and tricky cancellations. Automatic payments started November 12th. They'll continue through December 24th, sent via PayPal, Venmo, or by check if unclaimed. Eligible customers could receive up to $51 based on membership fees paid between June of 2019 and June this year. And if you don't get an automatic refund, you can file a claim starting December 24th with a deadline of July 23rd next year. Here in Tennessee, a lawsuit's been filed to stop the state's new private school voucher program. The Education Freedom Scholarship Act offers families about $7,300 in public funds for private tuition, but critics say it violates the state constitution and drains money from public schools. The lawsuit also argues the program lacks accountability and allows discrimination by participating schools. Supporters call it a win for school choice, while opponents warn it could cost taxpayers nearly $1 billion over 5 years. This lawsuit was filed by parents from Rutherford, Hamilton, Shelby, and Blount counties, supported by groups like the Education Law Center, ACLU of Tennessee, and Southern Poverty Law Center. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Glencliff got a crash. It's off on the right shoulder, 24 eastbound, approaching Briley Parkway. Then Fessler's Lane, 40 eastbound, got a crash there. Creve Hall, a crash, 65 southbound at Harding Place. And in Brentwood, TDOT says there's a crash now 65 southbound at Concord Road. And over on the East Bank, Shelby Avenue near Interstate Drive. Jolton, an injury crash, 24 westbound near Whites Creek Pike. B&A, a disabled vehicle blocking the right lane, 40 eastbound at Donaldson Pike. And in Antioch, a crash, 24 westbound at Harding Place. In Laverne, we've got a crash, 24 eastbound at Old Hickory Boulevard. And now Bellevue, Metro Police reporting a crash, 40 westbound at Old Hickory Boulevard. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Cover Nash. Cover Nash and Shane Ring, good people, and they provide an incredible service to our people that listen to the show. What do? They go over your health insurance plan for you. They make sure that everything is as it should be. Shane Ring does this all throughout the year, but now it's more important than ever because 2026 brings Obamacare. It brings premiums that are shooting up, in some cases even tripling with sky-high deductibles to match. You do not have to play by Washington's rules. Shane and Cover Nash can help you cut your cost by 40 to 60%. Keep any doctor or hospital and skip the government red tape. If you're self-employed, if you are uninsured, or if you're just tired of paying too much, friends, it's time to go with Cover Nash. 615-465-0023, 465-0023, or covernash.com. Covernash.com. Real health care coverage on your terms, not the terms of the government. It's Cover Nash and Shane Ring. Give him a call today. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Jackson and I just had a great conversation off the air about what we're doing later on tonight. What'd you say you were doing?
Just hanging out.
I guess, see, I keep thinking it's the weekend for everybody because it's the weekend for me after today. So that's on me, Jackson. I apologize. I'm like, you're not doing anything special after the show? And you're like, no, I'm just got to work tomorrow. I'm like, oh, my bad. All right, lots of you wish to talk to our guy, Jay St. Clair. He is our legal correspondent. He's my best friend, and he is on the line with us to answer your questions and your concerns. Thomas, you are first up with Jay St. Clair. Thomas, what do you got?
Oh, hi, Mike. Hey, Jay. How y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, I'm a Marine, man, and I appreciate you covering all this crap that's going on because somebody needs to go to jail over that stuff. But anyway, I have my 2023 tax return never got filed, and I had an independent tax person. She passed away before she finished her taxes, preparing taxes, and her daughter and her aunt tried to take over and do the same thing. And they sent me the picture, had the IRS logo, my return amount, and all that. And then for some reason, it never went through. Her aunt claimed she sent me a text saying I owed them like $329 for the return, which the woman that did the return the previous year let me pay when the return came in.
Right.
So I'm just wondering, they won't finish the return for me, and they won't send me my information back. So is there anything I can do about that to make them file my taxes?
Yeah, so the return is not...
Uh-oh. You there, Thomas?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jay, we lost you for a second. Just say that again, Jay.
Yeah, so the return has not been filed, Thomas?
No, sir.
Have you filed for 2024?
Yes, sir, I did. I did that with H&R Block.
Do you have the information with which so that you could file a 2023 return?
I do, but I'm missing a couple of the statements. I can't find the. I can get the information, the health insurance form, and the mortgage information and all that.
Right.
So, and I can get all that information, but these.
I think the best thing to do is to just get the information, file a return yourself, Thomas.
I started that process with H&R Block. So this woman was going to get me a return of $2,093,
right.
And I went to H&R Block to file it, and they're saying I'm going to owe over $5,000, and I don't understand where the disconnect is there.
Well, these people sound real shady to me. But I just think what the best thing to do is for you to get as much of the information as you can and file the return, either yourself or do it through H&R Block, and then you can try to square up with these people. But I certainly wouldn't pay them.
I haven't paid them anything because they never filed my returns. They said they did the work, but they didn't do it. So
no,
but they did.
Yeah, and they're saying they're basically holding your return hostage. They're saying we got it all ready to file, but we aren't going to file it until you send us $350 or whatever.
Right.
I wouldn't send them that money.
Well, they won't even respond to my text or calls now. She won't even.
Right.
I've tried to contact her like 3 times, and she won't respond at all. So
that's right. So the only thing, the way to get after them is you could sue them. And it only takes 2 things, Thomas, $140.
I know, a crown, $149.
And this is a perfect situation for that, because they don't like getting sued, and they're not going to come in there to fight over $350. You could sue them,
if I just tell them I'm going to hire a lawyer and sue you, is that worth even trying to make them? Because the difference is I was going to get back $2,000, and now I'm going to owe $5,000. So whatever they did, I'd like them to. She was a nonprofit tax preparer. So.
Yep. Well, my advice to you is I'd get as much of the information as you can and file a return based on the information you have. Either you file it or go through H&R and file it. And then if you want to go back against these people, I would get yourself a crayon, write out a lawsuit against them, and $140. What county are you in?
Rutherford County.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's my father was born in Murfreesboro, so I know that place well. And the court there will be easy to deal with, and you can do that. But in the meantime, I'd file a return because if the sooner or later the IRS is going to come looking for you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. They already told me that. Well, one of the H&R Block people told me I had 3 years, but the other H&R Block informed me that was if you were going to amend it, and it never got filed. So you're not in that category.
No, you're out of time right now. They're going to be running interest on it. And just because they told you that you were going to get $2,000 back doesn't make that true, Thomas.
Oh, I understand. I didn't. I just want to know if there was anything I could do legally about this.
$140 in a crayon, Thomas. Absolutely. That's the only way you're going to.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much, man.
Thank you,
Love
Thomas.
the show, Jay.
Yeah, thank you, brother. I appreciate your telephone call, Thomas. Mike is next up on FriJay. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Matt.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, quick thing for you, Matt. We're migrants from Utah about 6 years ago, and we love your show. You're so refreshing, kind of being that outside view. But just wanted to mention that to you.
Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that very much.
Jay, my question is, my wife and I are hearing a lot of different information when it comes to trust versus inheritance. Right. And so our question is, in a trust, we've been told that there's no penalties or fees, and with inheritance, the inheritee will have to pay taxes and a bunch of fees. Is that correct or information incorrectly?
Yeah, so you're breaking up a little bit, but I think your question is, which is better for you, just going through a regular probate process or having a trust set up? And the main reason to have a trust set up, Mike, is to avoid probate. That's the main reason to do it. If you don't have a trust, if you just go through probate, you're not going to owe any taxes. Well, if you have more than $12 million in your estate, then you may have to pay some inheritance tax.
Okay, well, that's way beyond me.
If you've got $12 million in your estate, you don't need to be calling for free legal advice on the radio.
Yes, sir, I get that.
You need to hire Elon Musk attorney.
No, we hear your show all the time, and we just thought, we would ask the question to get kind of another consensus on if we're getting the right information about having to pay back taxes and fees if it's inheritance versus a trust.
No. There won't be anything. Well, I mean, if you owe taxes, you got to pay it, right? I mean, either way, you got to pay your taxes. But the main difference is if you put everything in trust, it doesn't have to go through probate. And that's not really that big of an expense. It may be a few $1,000. It's really more of an inconvenience. But it's going to cost you probably $5,000 to set up a trust. So it's not the cost. I wouldn't do it for cost reasons because the cost of it's about the same. If you have a regular size estate. So am I answering your question?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and the reason we called and asked the question is because we do have a little bit of property and some land, and so we didn't, we just want to make sure that our inheritees are not going to be overwhelmed with cost.
No, they won't be overwhelmed with cost. The only cost will be just hiring a lawyer to take it through probate. And that's just not that expensive. Unless you've got a really complicated estate, that shouldn't be more than $5,000.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and you're going to spend $5,000 to set up a trust. And see, once you put everything in trust, Mike, if it's an irrevocable trust, then you can't touch it. I mean, you can direct it and decide where it goes and decide who gets it when you die. Right. But then you got to put, you can be the trustee when you're living, but then once you are gone, then you have to pay a trustee. So there's some expenses on the trust side too.
I got it. So it sounds like I need to do a little bit more digging into the overall into it. It's just not based on probate charge or something in that matter.
No, that's right. Yeah, and again, the main reason is to avoid probate, and not the fees of probate, but just avoid the process. Some people don't want their stuff public. They just don't want the world to know how much they're worth. And so that's why it does that. Another reason is, let's say you've got a mixed family, that you each have children from prior marriages, and you want to make sure that all of the children take equally. Because, see, here's what happens. Let's say that you each have children from prior marriage, you get married, and you got wills that leave it equal to all the kids. Well, the first one dies. The next one can, they inherit it all, the spouse. Well, the next one can cut out the other person's kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good to know because you are talking to the Brady Bunch over here.
Yeah, well, now that could be a valid reason to set it up in a trust, because the way you would set up your will normally is that the surviving spouse would take 100%. Let's say you die first, or you're not going to. You could go ahead and give it to your wife and your kids, but normally, whoever dies first gives it 100% to the other spouse, and then you just count on the other spouse not cutting your kids out. But that's a leap of faith.
Mike, have we satisfied your question?
Oh, absolutely, Matt. And once again, we appreciate your show and thank you for the time.
Well, of course, and
I
thank you.
appreciate your service.
Thank you for your service, Mike. We appreciate your call. One more before we have to take a quick time out. It's CJ. Hello, CJ.
Hey, Matt.
Hey,
Jay. I was just wondering Jay's opinion on. They're now saying, hey, we're going to release everything, but we may have to redact some files again on this Epstein mess because we have this big investigation going on in New York. You think that if they have this big investigation going on in New York, that they're scared of spooking whoever they're going to go after, one of these powerful pedophiles, and that's why they would have to redact information?
Well, the law does allow them to withhold information if it would affect a current investigation. That's in the law. But there are pretty strict guardrails. It has to be very tightly done, and it can be challenged. I don't expect General Bondi to play any games with that. Because the political winds have changed on this, and I think Trump and all of his people have figured out the more they disclose, the better. And again, I don't think I know there's nothing in there that hurts Trump, and I don't think there's anything in there that hurts.
I agree with y'all on that because, we all know that, like you said, they'd have been screaming it from the mountaintops if they had anything on Trump,
Right.
And I'm with you on him possibly protecting, a buddy or something because he's so loyal. If it's gonna hurt somebody, I don't know that he's protecting a pedophile, but he might be protecting somebody who is just hanging around Epstein a little too much and scared it's gonna hurt him or something. But I think he's,
CJ, I'm not. I fashion myself as being up on the news. I've not heard any indication from the White House since Trump signed this that they were planning on withholding anything.
Well, Bondi kept saying, within the law, we're within the law. We have we have an investigation going on in New York, and it sounded like they might still redact some. But that's the way I.
Well, from a political perspective, I would say this: Jay's the legal man, and he'll tell you what the law says, and I trust him as the day is long. But I would say politically, if they start doing that kind of nonsense, they're just going to prolong all of this, and it's going to make people in their camp very, very angry. That's my experience. So hopefully they don't do that, CJ. Thank you for the call. 52 after the hour. We'll try to squeeze one or two more in, if possible, on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hi, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Defend Systems. Brink Fiddler is the owner of Defend Systems, and his purpose is pretty simple. He wants to bring business owners or decision makers at schools or places of business together to better protect you in the unlikely event that something negative should happen, like an active shooter situation. They are physical security experts for a dangerously developing world. So, active shooter response, they'll get you trained as to the best practices as to what to do. Workplace violence, reaction in situations, they'll talk you through that. Site survey and threat assessment, emergency and intruder action plans, rapid response medical, all customized to your facility. Plus, they talk to your staff about what to do in the unlikely event that something like this should happen with your business, at your school, at your church, at your place that people gather. And that's what it's all about, protecting your staff, protecting the people that come in every day. And they do it at Defend Systems. Go to defendsystems.com, defendsystems.com, or call and reach out today, 615-236-6484, 236-6484 for Defend Systems.
A group of Tennessee parents challenging the new school voucher program in court. We'll tell you about that and more coming up at 5 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It would, I know we've got a lot of folks on the line, and it would be unfair to any of you to try to get in another question because I only have about a minute or so. So I apologize for that. We try to get to as many as we possibly can. Jump in early, though, because a lot of people absolutely adore FriJay, as I do. And sadly, we're just out of time. But I'll get to see my good friend and gambling buddy coming up tomorrow just after lunch, hopefully on a relatively dry piece of real estate, Jay. That's what I'm hoping, at least.
Yeah, and I'm not working tomorrow, Matt, so if you want to hold me over, I'd be happy to do it, but if, you may have something else planned.
Well, no, I tell you, Jay, I'll tell you what. I will call an audible right now, and for those holding on the line, Danny and Gary and Glenda and Larry, that's what we're going to do. We're going to hold Jay over, and we'll do an extended FriJay on Thursday on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Yes! Everybody excited? So, Glenda, hang in there. Larry, you hang in there. Danny, you hang in there. Gary, you hang in there. And you hang in there as well. One more segment with our guy, Jay St. Clair, on Super Talk 99.7 WTN in celebration of Huckleberry Phineas, Tom T. Turkey III. We got some more FriJay coming on Super Talk 99.7 WTN, but that's only after Ken Weaver delivers the news that you need to know about. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN, and it's 5 o'clock.
Five o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. I'm telling you, traffic is a mess. I'm looking at an hour and 31-minute drive if you're trying to get to Murfreesboro from Nashville right now. Again, full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. A group of Tennessee parents challenging the state's new school voucher program in court. The Education Freedom Scholarship Act gives families public money for private tuition, but the lawsuit claims it violates the state constitution and lacks oversight. Critics warn the plan could strip resources from public schools and allow discrimination by private institutions. Supporters argue it expands choice for families, with the program expected to cost nearly $1 billion over 5 years. This lawsuit was filed in Davidson County Chancery Court by parents from Rutherford, Hamilton, Shelby, and Blount counties, supported by groups like the Education Law Center, ACLU of Tennessee, and Southern Poverty Law Center. Money news, the Dow dropped 386 points today. The NASDAQ sank 2%. University of Michigan economics and public policy professor Justin Wolfers says the jobs report shows an increase in the unemployment figure, meaning there's concern for the labor market.
There's no question that there's cause for concern. The labour market has been slowing for quite some time. At some level, that makes sense. It might have been moving a bit too fast in the past. The question is where it comes down and steadies out at.
How much does it take to live comfortably in Tennessee? Well, a new study by travel and financial information company Upgraded Points claims a single adult needs about $96,000 a year, while two adults would need $126K. You add a child, that jumps to more than $165K. Then 3 kids, that's $224K. The study defines comfortable as covering essentials, discretionary spending, and savings without financial strain. Amazon's paying out refunds after a $2.5 billion settlement over Prime sign-up and cancellation issues. Automatic payments started November 12th. They run through December 24th, sent by PayPal, Venmo, or check. Eligible members could see up to $51 back for fees paid between mid-2019 and mid this year. Police warning drivers about the new high-tech methods criminals are using to steal cars with keyless ignition systems. ABC's Sophie Flay tells us how they do it.
It's called a relay attack. It's when thieves capture your key fob signal inside your home by holding up an antenna outside. In other instances, criminals are physically breaking into a car, then using a tablet-like device to access the vehicle's computer and program a blank key fob, essentially giving them a working copy of your key. Police in Ohio earlier this year arrested a group of suspected car thieves, found with a bag of blank key fobs and a scanner used to detect the data needed to make the duplicate key.
So to help protect yourself, authorities suggest putting your fob in a Faraday box or pouch to block the key signal. And they say old-fashioned steering wheel locks work too. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Jolton got an injury crash blocking 24 westbound near Whites Creek Pike. Creve Hall, a crash, 65 northbound before Harding Place. Glencliff, a crash, 24 westbound at Briley Parkway. Look for a crash 40 eastbound at Fessler's Lane, then 65 southbound at Harding Place. 24 eastbound past Maxey Road in Robertson County. In Brentwood, we got a crash on the left shoulder, 65 northbound near Concord Road. And in Laverne, a crash 24 eastbound at Old Hickory Boulevard. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Matt Murphy. This is a Thursday edition of the Matt Murphy Radio Show at 5:07. Glad you are with us, whether in your homes, your automobiles, your places of business, or some point in between. We thank you for your participation. Thank you for listening to the show. We've got extended FriJay coming up in just a second on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Excited about that. Nincompoops in the news a little bit later on. Our good friend Holly from Savory Spice will answer any and all of your Turkey Day questions, your Thanksgiving Day questions, anything about food. That is up in the 6 o'clock hour of the show tonight. And then I will call it an evening, and we will call it a weekend. Cameron Smith's in with you tomorrow from 3 until 7 o'clock. Y'all be nice to him. 615-737-9986. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you can do so on the super text line. I am technically deficient at. You ever see one of those? You ever go to the park there, Jackson? You ever go to the park, Jackson? You just go to the park, just sit on the park bench, just watch, the activity in the park. You ever do that? Are you going to participate in the show today, Jackson?
I am.
Okay, are you all right over there?
I'm fine.
I feel like this goes directly, your response, the way you responded, goes directly to the point I was about to make. You go to the park, and you sit down on the park bench, and there's a lovely little pond out there, right? There's a nice little pond, and you see the ducks, and they're just gliding. They're gliding effortlessly, it seems, across the pond. You know what's going on right beneath the surface of the water? Their little flippers are furiously flipping. And I feel like that's the show today. That Jackson is furiously flipping his little flippers to make sure that the show is seemingly going off without a hitch. But technically, the gremlins are trying to circumvent that. But we're not going to allow it to happen. They tried to do it with FriJay, and we had an alternate plan, and we executed the alternate plan by getting Jay on the phone lines, where he remains to answer any and all of your questions. So, Jay, you get my analogy, right? The little flippers are going right beneath the surface of the water. You know what I'm talking about.
No, that was actually me at the bar right during that break. The bar opens at 5. The martini bar opens at 5 o'clock, and okay. I appeared calm, but the martini-making hands were working feverishly like duck feet.
Well, I mean, I guess that's another way of putting it. Well, one way or the other, the bar is open, ladies and gentlemen. So when the bar opens, the legal advice gets even more expensive. What's double to zero, Jay?
What's the old song? Nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
Amen. Well, but enough about our craps table tomorrow night. Anyway, Glenda is next up with a tax question for Jay. Glenda, good afternoon. You're on with Extended FriJay. Hey, Glenda. That was a big build-up. Hey, how are you?
I'm great, and I actually don't have a question. I want to address the gentleman that called and said his 2023 taxes had not been filed.
Mm-hmm.
According to IRS Circular 231, any paid taxpayer is not allowed to refuse to return any documents provided to them to file a tax return, or they can be censured or even actually, they can get a lot. They will no longer do taxes. Okay?
No, absolutely. They got to give them the stuff back, Glenda. You're exactly right.
Legally, they cannot keep those.
Yeah.
The other thing, I have to apologize to him because I actually work for H&R Block as well in Murfreesboro.
Oh.
And if he could give me a call and reach out to me, I would be happy to go in and take a look at what documents that were used to file his tax returns and give him an idea of why he has this balance.
You are so nice. Do you mind saying the number for the office that you're located in?
Yeah.
The best way to reach me is at 615-849-1558. I mean, we have 6 offices in Murfreesboro. That's my home office. He just has to ask for Glenda.
Glenda. Okay.
He calls Glenda.
I've got the number, and if the gentleman is still listening, if he calls us back, Glenda, I will give him that number, and hopefully we can make all of this right. That's really, really good of you. Thank you for calling.
No, this is how it works.
I feel really bad that he kind of was left hanging with not really understanding why. Maybe he had this balance, and maybe some advice that he could be given as to not allow this to happen again.
Well, you're doing the Lord's work, Glenda.
Thank you, Glenda.
My job is to keep the money in the hands of the people that make it and not the hands of the man.
Well, good for you.
That's why I do what I do.
Good for you.
As far as the issue between an estate or a trust and a will, I will let you know this. You do a trust, and a lot of times that income is taxed at 37%. Whereas if you allow this to go through the whole probate process, whatever the man owned land and I guess property, the basis for that property is whatever the value of that property is when they pass. So if he has a piece of property
it'll step up, right? The basis will step up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when this person passes, and it's worth $100,000, and they turn around and they sell it for $110,000, they're only going to have $10,000 of taxable gain to share between all the beneficiaries. Whereas you don't have that, like with Fed, the stepped-up basis. So there's a lot of tax savings. Of course, there's still the issue of the one spouse taking all the money and, not sharing it between all the kids.
Why don't you and I just become radio partners, and why don't you just come on with
Hey,
me?
hold on.
The Jay and Glenda Show.
Hold on a second. Jay's cutting me out of this deal, Glenda.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. No, listen, it's all in good fun. And thank you for the advice, and thank you for the offer. And I hope that the gentleman is still listening. And I've got your number, and so when he calls in, I'll be able to get him your number, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, too, Glenda. I appreciate that. That's very kind. It's good of her.
Sweet.
Let's see. Brian. No, it's Larry's turn. Hey, Larry.
Hey, Matt. Thanks for taking my call. Thanks for holding us over. Thanks, Jay, for staying over. First of all, can someone be held responsible for wanting their first ex-wife to get eaten by a great white shark?
Oh, gee.
Secondly, can someone be held responsible if any information from the SPLC did not make it into their home when they were married to a young liberal attorney? But the reason I called is, why would this administration hire an attorney to do a criminal prosecution on James Comey when she's never tried a criminal case in her life? And now it looks like this all may just go by the wayside, according to the judge. And does that mean just that Comey gets a free pass? Can he ever be tried again for this by a different attorney, or does he qualify under double indemnity?
Here's what I would say about all that. Nobody is perfect, Larry. Trump came in a windstorm. I've never seen in my life any president come in with an attack plan as robust and quick as his. And it was kind of like Desert Storm. You remember Norman, Shock and Awe? Remember all that?
Mm-hmm.
A Storm in Norman Schwarzkopf. And that's kind of what Trump has done. And so they're not going to be perfect. They're going to make mistakes. They've made some. This goomer that was being deported, they were getting deported, I think, to El Salvador. Well, they missed the fact that the judge said you can deport him, but not to El Salvador. So they're not perfect, Larry. They're making mistakes. And I think the one you're talking about right here may be one of them. They're just doing so much so fast, and that's just what happens.
So there is a chance Comey could just walk away from this.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say that. I mean, a lot of them. The judicial system is not perfect, but it's pretty good, and they try to get justice served. And there's this. What's the saying in the law? That a criminal should not go free because the constable blundered.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty well ingrained in the law. And they've already tried to fix this. Larry, General Bondi signed an order or a paper saying that she is stepping in and doing this as the Attorney General. So, but yeah, it's not perfect. It's a mistake, and will it be a fatal mistake? We'll see. But Larry, nobody bats 1,000. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, I know. And Jay, I truly appreciate you and you doing this time on this show every week. You're one of the favorite segments on this show. Even with Matt, you're the favorite segment. So.
Easy.
Well, I do it because of your dog.
Well, listen, I just want to say for you and, your producer, go Vols.
Oh, dear.
There you go, Matt.
Thanks, Larry. Go.
Thanks, Larry.
They're going. They're going to Florida.
Well,
going to Gainesville.
Well, you didn't hear me say anything about it.
Bro, let's get to Brian, who is next up. Brian, what you got?
How you doing, guys?
Good.
Sitting there doing 5 miles an hour on 440 West, just enjoying the evening drive.
Oh, that makes me feel good about my drive on 440 West. No, I won't be on 440. I'll be on 40, so hopefully mine will be all right.
Okay. I'm about to get there, and it is not looking much better. Got a musician question for you. Like everybody else in Nashville, play with a band here in town. Upgraded my sound system, spent about $18,000 on the sound system, and which means the band's going to end up taking a loss. I do file a Schedule C, and I do 1099 all the band members. My accountant, whom I trust very, very much, is telling me that I should not take that entire loss, that $18,000 loss. He's saying I should split it up over 3 or 4 years.
Right.
I just like your thoughts on that.
It depends on how much income you have. Because the only reason to do that really is if it puts you in a different tax bracket, Brian. So I'd have to know, and I'm not going to ask you about your income, but it's tax shelter. Think of it as a tax shelter. You didn't structure it that way, but if you got losses. See, what he's maybe thinking is, you know what, you're going to do better in next year and the year after because of Trump. I'm certainly betting on Trump. And so he's saying, you know what, let's shelter this income next year because you're probably going to be in a higher tax bracket. And so this deduction, in effect, is what it is, will be worth more to you next year and the year after than it is this year. So I get the reason for it, and it's very common to do that, to carry forward losses, because if you didn't have a lot of income this year, let's say you're in like the 20% tax bracket. Well, I mean, what about next year? You're in the 32% tax bracket. You'd rather shelter that income when you're in a higher tax bracket than a lower tax bracket. So, I mean, here's the answer to your question is, how much money are you going to make 2 years from now? Right? I mean, that's what this is all about. If you think you're going to make more money next year and the year after than you make this year, then absolutely, I'd carry those losses forward.
Fair enough.
Now,
all right.
Now, if Glenda calls in...
What happens if Glenda says something different?
FriJay, I'm a tax expert, and I think I would do it this way. Then I'd listen to Glenda.
Well, or you know what you could do, Brian? You call Glenda at 615-849-1558. I bet she's taking a bunch of calls right now. Brian, thank you for the call. I'm going to try to get to one more before we have to say goodbye to Jay and wrap up an extended edition of FriJay on Thursday. And it's Danny that gets the last call. Danny, you're up with Jay St. Clair. What's on your mind?
Well, Lord, I didn't figure you'd take my call. Mr. Matt, I appreciate everything, your thoughts and opinions on things.
Yes,
really
sir.
Do. But I hate to say this. I'm actually calling for Mr. J, the doctor of law, his opinion on something.
Well, that's what this segment's for, brother.
Exactly. And this is a hot topic right now in the news. This is about the military. That's a half serious question, half joking. But does he have any advice for some people that may possibly in a couple of years be looking for a civilian attorney to after they get out of Leavenworth, to determine whether they disobeyed a lawful or unlawful order in the military? And do you know any politicians that might be there to represent them?
Danny, here's my answer to that. The 21st century has not turned out like I thought it would. Number one is I don't have my Jetson car yet. Number two, I never thought I would hear sitting members of Congress telling service members to disregard orders. I never thought that would happen.
No.
And I've lived a long time and seen a lot of things, but I've never seen that.
I didn't know if you had legal advice for them or not.
Well, I'd say this.
They'll be looking for civilian attorneys.
Well, I think this. I don't think what these politicians have said will change the behavior of any service member. Any service member that was going to follow their orders is going to follow them.
Well, I'd agree.
Anybody that wasn't going to follow them, this is all theater.
It's all performance. That's right.
It's all performance. It's absolutely all performance.
It still annoys me, but it's all performance. Danny, thank you for your call. Jay, before you go, one final question. At what time during the symposium does your guest believe that he or you will hit your first hard 10?
Well, I'll say this. It won't happen while we're sober.
No, see, the rules
because
are...
I don't bet the hard way when I'm sober.
My rule is there's a hard... As a friend, as a wingman, I am there to prevent Jay from doing the hard ways until I can do it no longer.
Yeah, no, it's a sucker bet. It's absolutely a sucker bet. And I only do it when I'm up and liquored up.
Well, Jay, be safe, my friend. Thank you for the extended time, and I look forward to this weekend, brother.
Man, I love you, man. I can't wait to spend some time with you. We're going to howl. Every now and then, man, you just got to howl at the moon.
Every once in a while, you got to howl at the moon. That's right.
Well, we're going to do some howling this weekend.
Take care, Jay. There's Jay St. Clair. There's our man on FriJay, 24 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Coming up, a little nincompoops in the news. We'll do some turkey talk. We'll get you caught up on everything that's going on in the news with Ken Weaver, and I'll opine on said same next. So, friends, I mean, it's that time of year, right? Well, during the day, you're probably popping on that AC from time to time, but that night, maybe you're throwing the heat on. Well, one way or the other, if the season has caught you off guard, now's the time to get your winter maintenance done with Efficient Heating and Cooling. It's the best way to avoid costly repairs and breakdowns during the season. With Efficient, you'll get the best value around. You'll never pay more than $125 to service the units in your home, no matter how many you have. 2, 3, 4, doesn't matter. $125 is the max amount. Sometimes it's much less than that. The savings then stack up because your heating unit is running more efficiently. That means it saves you money on a monthly basis. And if you do find yourself in need of repair or to address a breakdown, Efficient does not charge overtime rates on the evenings or on the weekends. That's nice to know as well. They just don't believe in it. Efficient Heating and Cooling, 615-784-4424, 615-784-4424, or online at efficienthvac.net. Hey, friends, Matt Murphy for Advanced Hair. Friends, it's as simple as this. If you're losing, you need to do something about it. Gentlemen, let's talk about that hair. If you're losing it and desire to have it back, Advanced Hair Restoration is the place to go. They have the easiest and guaranteed, you heard me correctly, guaranteed solution. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results. I've seen it with my own eyes. Guys, it's not magic, but it's a little close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam! It grows. It's science. Advanced Hair has it all. Top-rated doctors, modern technology, and you get your own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day. Advanced Hair even guarantees it grows for life. So schedule your free consultation right now. 629-348-HAIR, 629-348-HAIR. If you qualify, you get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. That's right. AdvancedHair.com. AdvancedHair.com, or once again, the number 629-348-HAIR for Advanced Hair.
.30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Well, a group of Tennessee parents and taxpayers are suing to block the state's new private school voucher program. The Education Freedom Scholarship Act gives families about $7,300 for private tuition, but critics say that violates the Constitution and drains public school funding, while supporters argue it expands choice. Well, this lawsuit was filed in Davidson County Chancery Court by parents from Rutherford, Hamilton, Shelby, and Blount counties, supported by groups like Education Law Center, ACLU of Tennessee, and Southern Poverty Law Center. Money news. Ever wonder what it takes to live comfortably in Nashville? Channel 4's Steve Mailing breaks down what a new study from travel and financial information company Upgraded Points claims.
A single adult living in Davidson County needs to make over $100,000 a year to live comfortably, meaning they have to spend half their income on things like housing and everyday needs, 30% on things like going out or events, and 20% to save or pay off debt with. The study shows as the households grows, so does the need for more money, with a 4-family household in Nashville estimated to run you over $200,000 a year, not to be paycheck to paycheck. Here's the bigger issue. The median income in Davidson County, according to the state's website, is only around $80,000, leading to working people doing more than just one job.
Now, this study says in Tennessee, the cost to live comfortably for a family with 3 kids is $224,000. After months of internet speculation, NASA has released new pictures of the comet that's racing toward a close pass to Earth next month. ABC's Jim Ryan.
Astronomers in the U.S. and Europe have analyzed the fuzzy images of 3I Atlas, only the third object that humans have detected coming from beyond our solar system, and they say it shows signatures typical of a comet. Internet rumors suggest that it's an alien spacecraft, and NASA's Amit Kshatriya acknowledges that.
We want very much to find signs of life in the universe.
But he says this isn't it.
3I Atlas is a comet.
Jim Ryan, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Creve Hall, a crash at 65 northbound before Harding Place. In the Belmont area, road work with the on-ramp partially blocked. That's 65 northbound on-ramp from Wedgwood Avenue. Hermitage got a crash, Central Pike right there at I-40. And then in Jolton, an injury crash blocking 24 westbound near Whites Creek Pike. Glencliff, a crash 24 westbound at Briley Parkway. Brentwood, a crash on the left shoulder 65 northbound near Concord Road. Creve Hall, a crash 65 southbound at Harding Place. Cedar Hill, Robertson County, crash 24 eastbound past Maxey Road. And in Laverne, we got a crash 24 eastbound at Old Hickory Boulevard. I'm Ken Weaver.
You know, it seems like yesterday I was telling you that, Halloween's coming up and yada, yada, yada. Now Thanksgiving's almost here, and with Thanksgiving comes Black Friday. Well, for the last few weeks, you've heard us talking about booking your holiday parties at the Glock Store, and now I'm inviting you to one. This year at Glock Store, they're going to blow the doors off of Black Friday. I'm telling you, folks, you need to put them on the list for any and all of the gun enthusiasts in your life. Whoever they may be, you can find everything that you want right there at the Glock Store. Doors open at 9 a.m., and the details are coming together, and they're huge. Discounts on just about everything in the store, including Glocks, the latest and greatest performance products, obviously accessories, magazines, and the like. Plus, some really great food trucks, and as always, you know there'll be giveaways. At the Glock Store, I have no doubt that they'll have more than a few great giveaways to offer you valuable products that you can win just by being there. And you might be the first person that you know to get your hands on the all-new Glock V model handguns. Anyone who's ever been to the Glock Store knows it's simply the best gun store in the city of Nashville or in the state of Tennessee, in my estimation. And it's Black Friday. Their one and only sale for Black Friday happens right after Thanksgiving. The Glock Store, minutes away from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere. Tell them I sent you to the one and only Glock Store. You know, I told y'all that when all of these blanket pardons were going out on the Jan 6 stuff, that some of it might be a mistake, that some of these people deserve to serve a little jail time for what they did on Jan 6. Common sense got lost. Common sense got completely lost. I understand that some of these folks were overcharged. I get that. You know, Stuart Parks. Stuart Parks is a good example. Overcharged, completely overcharged. We've had Stuart on the show in the past. Maccabee, overcharged, in my opinion. But some of these folks were not overcharged, and some of them that were pardoned were not good people, as evidenced by this story that was sent to me by a listener, Andrew Paul Johnson, 44 years of age, who was pardoned by the president for his participation in January 6th, has now pleaded not guilty to crimes of child sex abuse. The man who took part in the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol was pardoned by President Trump earlier this year, has been arrested on multiple child sex abuse charges in Florida. The man, identified as Andrew Paul Johnson, taken into custody August in Tennessee, extradited to Florida, where, according to arrest records, he faces charges of lewd and lascivious child molestation of a child under the age of 12. The charges reported by The Intercept earlier this week. Records show Johnson's being held at the Hernando County Detention Center in Spring Hill. I was trying to see here where he was found in Tennessee. Report alleges Johnson, well, I won't get into some of the details, but suffice it to say that an individual deserves his day in court, but if found guilty, he needs to be put under the jail and remain there for a long time, if not forever. Once again, they were not all the people that were present and accounted for in Washington, D.C. on January 6th were not good people. I mean, they just weren't, and some of them probably did not need to be pardoned. I was against the idea of blanket pardons for these Jan 6 protesters, and I said so at the time. 38 minutes after the hour. By the way, have you looked at, I know you have, Ken Weaver. Have y'all looked at, Jackson, you looked at the map over there?
I have, and I'm grateful I'm not driving home right now.
Good. Yeah. I mean, it's not, look, I don't pretend that I look every single day, but it's not always this bad. And there's red everywhere. Everywhere.
Yes, sir.
The loop, red, solid red. You know, I like to, if you look at a map of Nashville, I like to look at a map of Nashville. If y'all watching on Talk TV, you do it with me now. Think of a map of Nashville's in front of you, and then put your thumb up. And the tip of your thumb is the loop. And then the left side of your thumb is 65, and the right side of your thumb is 24. That's the way I think of it.
Where's 40?
It runs in the middle.
40's right in the middle. 40's
east and west, man.
I don't have that many. I can do that. You want me to do that? Nah, it's like you're a vampire.
I mean, 24 is considered east and westbound too, but it's kind of more northeast and southeast.
Yeah, where we are here. Yeah, yes. But anyway, you put the thumb there, and the 40's going this way, and the Jackson 440 makes a little smiley face. If you think of Nashville, it's a little smiley face under Nashville.
There ain't nobody smiling on 440 right now.
Not right now, baby, because it is bad news. So, I mean, if you think of that thumb that I just described, every bit of that thumb is red. The loop's red, 65's red, 40's red, 440's red, 24's red, Briley Parkway's red. There's a wreck on Briley Parkway. So I'm just so sorry for those of you in traffic. And all I can tell you is that odds are, unless it's ice cream, it'll be there when you get there. Unless it's ice cream.
Then you're probably screwed.
And then you're probably screwed. 615-737-9986. If you want to get involved, we're going to involve ourselves with Thanksgiving talk coming up in the 6 o'clock hour. But right now, it's time for Nincompoopery.
Nincompoops in the news.
That's right. Time for Nincompoops in the News. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My goodness, I've got to figure out a different way to do all of this stuff. I can't do everything at once. It's putting me in a bad mood. I can't. So God bless you. If you're waiting outside, we'll get to you in just a moment. We just don't have the staff to come down and get you right now. Our guests for the 6 o'clock hour are already here. So it's time for Nincompoops in the News. Who won yesterday? I think I did.
No, you didn't. Ken won.
What are you talking about? You never say I won.
Ken.
Jackson, did you count?
I counted.
Did you do an honest count?
I did an honest count.
I don't think mine was that good.
Ken, you won. Go ahead.
Jackson says go.
I have no idea who won. I'm just guessing Ken.
I think I won, but whatever.
You can go ahead, Brother Murphy.
I don't know that I got to win the story one way or the other, but here we go. The Pennsylvania. This story intrigues me, maybe because I might be looking for a house here soon. The Pennsylvania Superior Court has ruled last Wednesday that the seller of a home did not have to inform potential buyers of hate symbols embedded in the property. This comes after a Beaver County family. I love it. I'd love to live in Beaver County, wouldn't you? A Beaver County family filed a lawsuit when they found a swastika. Do I pronounce that word correctly, Ken?
Swastika.
There's no H there.
There's no H. So
swastika.
Swastika.
Yes, sir.
Well, they found one, and what appeared to be a German war eagle tiled under rugs and a table on the basement floor. Homeowner Lynn Ray Wentworth said that the court had a chance to publicly denounce these symbols of hate. We have to start as a community, as Pennsylvanians, standing up and saying, this is not right. Wentworth said, I think there is a missed opportunity by the judiciary to legitimize the offensiveness that these symbols bring when put into context with what has happened in history. The court decided symbols tiled into Wentworth's basement home were not, quote, material defects that the seller needed to disclose prior to purchase. The judiciary said the defect must be one that not only substantially impacts the value of the real estate, but lends itself to recognition and quantification by objective standards. They look back at previous rulings when a seller did not disclose. This is what got me. So they compared this to a time when someone sold a home and did not disclose that a murder-suicide had happened in the home. Determining the buyer of that home, once they found out, said that it caused great, quote, psychological damage that could not be measured monetarily, but the courts ruled that it did not impact a property's quality or safety. In this case, the court said Wentworth can cover the tiles with paint, just as any homeowner can make renovations to a house. Wentworth, it's a lot to have to deal with getting them removed. We had to get a jackhammer out. The court added, certainly a significant portion of homebuyers would dismiss a house with a crude mosaic of Nazi iconography.
There you go.
There we go. Third time's a charm. In its basement. Yet there is, sadly but undeniably, a segment of the population that would deem it an asset to the property. So the court, I think, is ruling properly here. The nincompoop in my story is this lady. So the court's like, look, let the buyer beware. Caveat emptor. You got to check the property out, lady. And this wasn't a material defect that they did not disclose. This was just some awful symbology. And what the court's saying is, look, sad to say, but some people would like that.
And it's not going to make the brochure.
I promise you, it's not going to make, you're not going to see that on Zillow.
And here in the basement, we have our propaganda.
Our war room. No, they're not going to do that. Court records said the seller argued the symbol was, quote, a popular design on greeting cards, soft drinks, and sports uniforms in the 1920s. No. This is the funny. This is
it was.
Oh no. Yes, that's true. Well, the Nazi symbol was a symbol of peace. It was co-opted by the Nazis, and they completely ruined it. But it was.
That's got to be a tough scene for the guy who made it.
Was it Indian or Hindu, something like that? I don't know what it was, but y'all can look it up. There are swastikas. If you go to Jefferson County, Alabama, in Birmingham, Alabama, on the Jefferson County Courthouse, which was built in the 1920s, there are swastikas on the courthouse.
They didn't cover them up?
They haven't sandblasted. I don't know why they don't, but they haven't.
Probably about 1949, you're probably like,
maybe we should, maybe they stole this one from us. But so this dude said, hey, these were popular in the 20s. And they said, well, when did you install them? The 70s? Wentworth said she hasn't decided whether she's going to appeal. She has just under 30 days. She's an nincompoop. Just jackhammer that crap up, put a rug over it, and be done with it. That's what I say. That's my nincompoop in the news.
Hit it, Brother Jackson.
All righty. Cops rescue large tortoise from drug house in Florida.
Aw.
Along with felony narcotics counts, a Florida woman has been charged with animal cruelty after cops executing a search warrant found a large tortoise living among piles of trash and debris in her property, court records show. The raid Tuesday on the Clearwater home of Olivia Merrick's was triggered by the suspect's prior sale of ecstasy to an undercover officer, according to police who termed her residence a known drug house used to store and sell narcotics. Investigators seized cocaine, ecstasy, and DMP, a so-called designer drug, during the search. After being read her rights, Merrick's reportedly admitted that narcotic sales occurred at the home, which she had control of following the death of her grandfather.
Aww.
While going through the residence, police found the tortoise in a trash strewn room, which had no roof and was failing as a structure. There was no signs of food or water supply provided for the tortoise. The reptile had been living for more than 10 years at the home and was left by the deceased homeowner. The size and age of the tortoise is not detailed in police records. The tortoise, seen below, was turned over to the custody of the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. Pictured above, Merrick's was arrested on 2 felony narcotics charges as well as misdemeanor counts of operating a drug house and animal cruelty. She is locked up in lieu of $21,000 bond. Merrick's has a prior convictions for disorderly conduct and theft. In 2022, she was arrested in front of her home for possessing crack cocaine and marijuana, though prosecutors subsequently declined to pursue charges.
My goodness. I feel bad for the tortoise.
Well, the tortoise is better now. It's at the aquarium.
That's nice. I wonder what the tortoise would be like on cocaine.
Probably bite your finger off.
Beat that hair, I bet.
Yeah. I bet you would.
We
I
beat
bet
the
he
hair
would,
in the
too.
story.
I understand. That's because the hair was stupid and went to sleep.
Well, sometimes you need a nap.
Lollygagged.
Might take a nap in the 6 o'clock hour.
Don't lollygag. By the way, I'm being told I was DQ'd because Chris Hand did the front end of that story when I was out for surgery. I think that's been long enough. This is an update to a previously
Chris
done.
didn't do
Nichols.
that story.
That's what
I've
I was
never
told.
heard that story
This
before.
is updated. It's updated story.
I mean, it's updated.
That's fair.
I mean, that's a fair thing, right? If they,
Although-
even if he did it on the front end, it's updated on the back end. They ruled.
Weaver.
Yes, sir.
We could use this as an opportunity to get Murphy out of here.
Ken, why don't you go ahead and do your story and beat us fair and square?
Boys, I think I found a really good source for naked stories. This here story's out of Thailand again.
Oh, right.
Oh, no, Ken.
Apparently, people are going to Thailand and they're taking things.
Ken, you're the news director of this radio station. You didn't know that?
Well, I did after I watched that hungover movie. Hangover.
Watch out. You
I
get
thought they were in China.
You get a tattoo, man. I don't know.
Naked foreigner disrupts traffic. Detained at Pattaya intersection. A state of confusion gripped a busy Pattaya intersection as a nude foreign man caused significant disruption, leading to a swift police response. This guy, estimated to be around 40 years old, seemed completely unclothed. He was striking passing vehicles. Authorities arrived promptly at the scene to manage the escalating situation. Remember the story yesterday? How they just let the guy kind of run around and do his things, go in and out of the apartment. Then he actually lit a fire outside the apartment. Well, here police arrive again, and they're just managing the situation. Eyewitnesses described the man as tall and of an unconfirmed nationality.
Huh.
At one point, standing with his arms outstretched and appearing to chant toward the sun. The unusual spectacle left both local residents and international tourists in a state of bewilderment. Upon engaging with the individual, police determined he was incoherent and likely under the influence of an unknown substance. Given his unstable condition, officers took him into custody, transported him to a nearby hospital for a thorough medical and psychological evaluation. The event has since ignited broader discussions regarding the recurring challenges that law enforcement face in Thailand with similar public disturbances in major tourist destinations. So do you go to Thailand to take mushrooms or acid or something?
People go to Thailand to do things that they're not allowed to do anywhere else.
Really?
Yes.
So it's legal there?
I presume.
Because that's kind of what I'm gathering, because in both of these stories, authorities arrive to manage the situation.
Yes. Not to arrest and not to, manage, to try to get everything under control. I believe Thailand is a fairly hands-off type of culture. I'm going to go ahead and quote 4859 here, Ken.
Yes, sir.
When they say, Ken, stay away from Thailand, they got lady boys. I think that says it all.
Remember that Hangover 2? Was that the one with?
I never saw it. I didn't see the sequels. I saw the first. I never saw the sequels.
Dude,
I looked it up. They go to Thailand.
It's on the edge where it just was almost.
Didn't somebody lose a finger?
Yes.
Yes. See, that's why I didn't watch it, because it was just a repeat of the first one.
Oh, we got to do our movie mayhem.
I don't know that we should do that. Let's talk about it next hour. I think we should suspend movie mayhem until after Thanksgiving.
Why?
Because I don't want to be accused of not doing my job. And I don't think I'm watching a movie this weekend. Back in a moment. Hey, friends, it's Matt Murphy. Genesis Diamonds is presenting the holiday love event of the year. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's right. This weekend, enjoy store-wide savings of 20, 30, or 35% off. Engagement rings, earrings, pendants, bands, bracelets. It's the biggest and final store-wide sale of the year. If you've lived here for a while, you probably know this is the event that everyone waits for. The holidays are upon us, right? And if you're looking for the home run gift that she'll talk about not just this year, but so many years to come, the time has come to get to Genesis Diamonds. Luxury pre-owned Rolexes are included in this incredible sale. Everything's on sale in the store and zero interest financing available on approved credit. The staff at Genesis knows they can break all the rules during this incredible 3-day, $30 million sales event. Exclusively at Genesis Diamonds, it's 3 days. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Green Hills and Cool Springs. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you to the one and only Genesis Diamonds.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes, and parents in Tennessee have filed a lawsuit to stop the state's new school voucher program. Education Freedom Scholarship Act gives families public money for private tuition, but critics say it violates the Constitution and lacks oversight. Supporters call it a win for school choice, while opponents, that is, warn it could drain public schools and cost taxpayers nearly $1 billion. This lawsuit was filed in Davidson County Chancery Court by parents from Rutherford, Hamilton, Shelby, and Blount counties, supported by groups like the Education Law Center, ACLU of Tennessee, and Southern Poverty Law Center. A new study by Travel and Finance Information Company, Upgraded Points, defines how much money Tennesseans need to make for a comfortable living. Here's Channel 4's Steve Mailing.
The study says living comfortably means you spend about half your income on necessities like housing, food, and health care, saving 30% for discretionary spending like going out, shopping, and other events, and the final 20% for any debt you may owe. It's something local union workers tell us is hurting the workforce, and they need higher paying jobs or raises to come across the board to help make ends meet.
Yeah, so for two adults, the number jumps to about $126K a year. With one child, it's over $165K. Families with 3 kids would need more than $224K. Maybe this will help. Amazon's issuing refunds after a $2.5 billion settlement over Prime memberships. Automatic payments started November 12th. They'll continue through December 24th via PayPal or Venmo with checks mailed if unclaimed. Refunds are up to $51 for customers who signed up between June 2019 and June 2025 and had trouble canceling or rarely used Prime. And if you don't get an automatic refund, you can file a claim starting December 24th. Police are warning drivers about a new high-tech method criminals are using to steal cars with keyless ignition systems. It's called a relay attack, and it's when thieves capture your key fob signal inside your home by holding up an antenna outside. Lieutenant Brian Greer is with the Philadelphia Police Department.
They will take an antenna near your front door. Another person with another type of antenna will extend the signal from your proximity device to that car to open the car door, push start the car, and drive off.
Now, to help protect yourself, authorities suggest putting your fob in a Faraday box or pouch to block the key's signal. They say old-fashioned steering wheel locks also work. Tennessee Secretary of State has ordered all regional libraries to review children's and juvenile books for compliance with state and federal guidelines, including Tennessee's age appropriateness law and President Trump's executive order on gender ideology. Libraries have 60 days to complete the review and submit a report by January 19th. Officials warn that failure to comply could put more than $3 million in annual funding at risk. And it's large, it's fast, and it's blazing through our solar system at 153,000 miles per hour. NASA released its newest telescope images of a massive comet called 3I Atlas.
This is Jim Ryan. The elephant in the room at the beginning of the NASA news conference was internet speculation that 3I Atlas might be an alien spacecraft. The agency's science mission directorate, Nikki Fox, says,
"We certainly haven't seen any techno-signatures or anything from it that would lead us to believe it was anything other than a comet."
A cursory skim across the web suggests that the news conference has not quelled the rumors. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Chilton, injury crash, 24 westbound near Whites Creek Pike. Belmont area crash, on-ramp partially blocked. 65 northbound, on-ramp from Wedgwood Avenue. Glencliff, a crash, 24 westbound at Briley Parkway. Stalled vehicle, left shoulder block, 40 westbound near White Bridge Pike, Briley Parkway West. Pegram, we've got a crash, 40 westbound near McCrory Lane. Creve Hall, a crash. Looks like 65 northbound before Harding Place. And look here, Sylvan Park, stalled vehicle, left shoulder block, 40 westbound near White Bridge Pike, Briley Parkway. Creve Hall, 65 southbound at Harding Place. I'm Ken Weaver.
Here we are. Here we go. Final hour of the Thursday edition of the Matt Murphy Radio Show, episode 929. I will not be here tomorrow, so it's Thursday, my Friday. Never you fear. Cameron Smith will be in with you from 3 until 7, and he'll get you to your weekend. And it's a shortened week next week, and I just want to make you aware of kind of signpost where we're going here, because next week we've got the incredible Radiothon, Nashville Rescue Mission, the beneficiary of the Radiothon. What a worthwhile and wonderful organization. That's happening Monday of next week. So all the crew will be out there starting bright and early with Dan. Man, it's a different kind of day. Y'all get it. If you are longtime listeners to the radio station, you know that we've been doing this for a long time. Since I've been here, it's been one of the most special days of the year. It's an opportunity to give back to a wonderful charitable organization that serves so many in our community. That's happening on Monday. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we're off Thursday and Friday for Thanksgiving. And so we thought, considering that I'm not here tomorrow, and considering that I talked to our next guest about this last Saturday, I said, why not you come in and let's get away from politics? I mean, obviously, if anything breaks, we'll tell you about it. But let's get away from politics and let's talk about a week from today. It is Thanksgiving, a week from now. And to celebrate and to answer any and all of your questions, and I'm depending on you guys. If y'all don't have any questions, we're going to sit around and eat pumpkin cake is what we're going to do. But we have an opportunity for you to ask any and all questions about Thanksgiving, about the meal, about the food, about how to spice it, about how to cook it, about what to do with our good friend Holly from Savory Spice. David's here as well, but he's not the straw that stirs the drink. You, my dear, are the straw that stirs the drink. Hey, Holly. Hey, David. How are y'all?
Hi, Matt. Thank you so much for having us. We're so excited to talk about turkey and dressing and green beans and pumpkin pie and cocktails and wine and whatever else we can
talk about. So any and all questions, 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986, and you can get them in on the super text line and we can answer all of your questions. You told me that you were nervous.
A little bit.
No, you're good. You're great. You talk to people. Your shop Saturday was insane.
We were busy.
I love it.
I do too.
I love seeing it.
Thank you.
I love everything about it, and I love what you guys bring to the community, and I love the fact that I'm associated with you on the show. So thank you guys for that.
You're welcome.
We love being associated.
Yeah,
hey,
we do.
Is this one on too?
Yeah.
We got that one on too? Okay, good. Very good.
And we love to cook, and we love to eat, and I really love going to work every single day. I don't ever know what's going to walk in the door with a question, or somebody's going to come in with an interesting dish that they're cooking, and we can talk about it.
Or a new idea.
Or a new idea.
We love hearing from our customers. The way I usually say it is she knows 90%, I know 5%, and the other 5% we're still learning every day.
Just figuring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great shop, and I encourage, not just because of our radio relationship, I encourage people to go by and see the difference, because that's what I try to impress upon people, is that you can go to the grocery store and buy some spices.
You can.
But if you want an experience, if you want people that are knowledgeable about what they're selling, if you want things you can't get anywhere else, if you want the freshest of the fresh, if you want blends, you showed Erica a blend Saturday that you made up.
It is our 5-point seasoning. It's a tried and true favorite. We made it with sweet potatoes in mind, but we ended up putting it on a lot of different things, and it is our creation and our recipe. And that's another really fun thing that we like to do is make up things that people ask us for, or if we have an idea for something. I'm working on probably 5 or 6 different things at any given time that people have asked us for, or we see a food trend coming, or we have an idea and we're like, oh, let's make this. So 5 Points was born out of that need. We really wanted something to reflect the culinary traditions of the area. So the main ingredient in there is a whiskey smoked sugar and a whiskey smoked pepper because, Tennessee whiskey.
Mm-hmm. 100%. So tell everybody, and I promised myself I would do this, when folks walk into the shop and you say, have you ever been here before? Mm-hmm. And if they say no, then what do you say?
We welcome them. We explain that we're so happy that we're there. We show them exactly how our store works because it's not like walking into a store where they just sell T-shirts or other items. So we want everyone to taste everything. So we invite them to open up our taster jars and put some of the spices in their hand. And when they've had enough of what they're tasting, they fling it on the floor or throw it in the air or sprinkle it with great abandon wherever, and it just makes our store smell great every single day. And often people are drawn in by the aroma of our store even before they realize that they've walked into a spice store.
And so when I say oftentimes when I'm talking about you guys that you'll smell it before you see it, and you do, and that's the reason is that people, you have the sample jars.
We do.
Out, and obviously if they get something to take home, you take a larger jar and you pack that up for them.
Yes.
But on the sample jars, they are invited to test. Mm-hmm. To their heart's desire, and you can just throw it on the floor.
Yeah.
Shake, taste, toss.
Shake, taste, toss. It's just that simple.
Yep.
Keep it G.
Nice. And you brought up a blow up turkey.
Well, I thought this is our little turkey is. I didn't want you to be without a turkey in the studio because I knew what happened earlier. And this is our turkey, and he's been in our window for 12 years. We put him out every Thanksgiving, and he's pretty fun, and I thought I might have to demonstrate something, so I brought a visual.
That's nice. I brought my blow-up turkey, too. His name's Jackson. He's right back there behind the glass.
Hi, Jackson.
Full of hot air.
Oh, look at his little hat.
Jackson's got his own little hat. Thank you, Mr. Bill from Hendersonville. Mr. Bill from Hendersonville brought us all those hats.
That was very nice, Mr. Bill. That's a beautiful luxury chapeau there.
What, in your opinion, is the easiest way to cook a turkey?
I'll let you. He's got 2 methods. I've got 1 method. They're all different.
Okay.
So to me, the easiest method is smoking it. You set the smoker, especially if you've got an easy smoker that like a pellet grill where you don't have to fuss with it. Mm-hmm. Set it on 225 or 250. Put it on. Let her go until she gets to about 155, 160.
Internal temp. Yeah.
Yep. Now, one of the things that I tell people is a lot of times the FDA says cook turkey to 165. That's to make sure that all the salmonella, all the bacteria are done. But when you pull that big piece of meat out of the whatever you're cooking it with, whether it's the oven or the grill or whatever, it's going to carry over and keep cooking. So if you pull it out at 165, by the time you're ready to eat, you're at 170, 175, and that's where you get some of that dried breast meat and stuff. So if you pull it at 155 to 160, let it carry over, cook up to the 165 as it's resting, you'll have a perfect turkey.
I like to say, I've said it many, many years, that my grandmother was the finest cook I ever knew in my life, but the woman made a dry bird. And I think it's because you don't want, it's once a year, right? And she cooked back in the day where you didn't have those pop-ups. And I don't ever remember her taking an internal temperature either. And maybe it was just old school.
Well, you need a meat thermometer always.
Right. Obviously.
Now we do. Now we have that too. I doubt my grandmother had a pop-up.
I think Ma was just guessing.
And
well, sure.
And guess on the right side of
bacteria.
Salmonella and bacteria, right?
Good, yeah, good.
Well, back in the day, they used to tell them you'd take your turkey to 175, which really dried out that.
Right.
Which gave you that.
Or some old wives' tale about the leg wiggling off, or I don't know, whatever. I'm sure that I watched.
Ma used to wiggle a leg. She used to wiggle the legs.
Yeah. So, but so he smokes, but I think roasting is a very easy.
Yep.
It's a very easy way to do it. Brine it.
Everybody's got a different way, right?
Yeah, and there's no wrong way. It's what you like in your family and what your family tradition.
Well, you gave us, for anybody that is interested in calling with a question or a comment, you were kind enough to give us a brine because you got to brine the bird.
I believe that, yes.
Do you
Either dry
believe in
or
that?
wet. Yes, dry or wet, and we can talk about that.
What's the difference? One's dry, one's wet?
One's dry, one's wet.
So smart.
Right.
Smart.
Yeah.
I will say it makes a big difference if you're going to be doing something like frying a turkey.
Brining?
Dry versus wet. One of the things you don't want to do is put a wet turkey into a vat of hot oil. So I would recommend you dry brine if you're going to be frying your turkey.
I've done a couple of fried turkeys. My grandfather, so this is the funny backstory, is that we all kind of knew, nobody would say anything, but we always kind of knew that Ma's bird was a little, on the dry side. And so you got gravy, you got we used to do turkey sauce. We still do. I mean, I've got to have it at Thanksgiving because that's what I remember growing up with. And I don't know why that started or how that started.
It's
Probably
nostalgic.
It's just, it's nostalgia, but I don't know why my grandmother did it.
Because the bird was dry. She knew it. So she's like, I'm just going to put a little turkey sauce on there.
It was like a specialty.
It's like the brown.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And so, you got to do that, right? But Pa started frying when I was like in my upper teens, right? And he would inject it and fry it, and it was fabulous. But you learn pretty quickly that you've got to have a thawed bird. Otherwise, you're going to have a fire.
I thought you were going to say you got to have a fire extinguisher, which you do. Yes,
you do.
Also true.
Well, but I've fried on a couple of occasions. As long as your bird is thawed and as long as and that's the key. And most people don't realize that you want it nice and clean and washed or whatever, but you've got to dry the exterior of the bird because that water is going to interact with the oil and it's going to cause the oil to bubble up and potentially bubble over.
Yeah, and if there's pockets of moisture in there because of the brine, that's also going to volcano out the sides and blow out the sides, and that's not going to be good to eat.
One other key difference on wet brine and dry brine is going to give you a really dry skin, which gives you a crispier skin. So if you like that crispy skin bite where you bite through it, that's the way to go.
Nice. Someone says that 1744 writes in, I cannot say the full comment, but I will say their ghost pepper salt is bleeping amazing. I agree, by the way, 1744.
Oh, gosh, if you've walked into the store when David has been working, you've walked out with ghost pepper salt. It's his favorite thing.
It is my favorite.
Not because I'm a bad cook either.
My favorite spicy thing in the store.
It's good. No, it's absolutely delicious. No, all the flavored salts are incredible. The smoky salt. Am I saying it right?
That the alderwood salt. I know that's your favorite.
It's absolutely and I put it on anything. Put it on anything, and it's delicious.
I love it on a bowl of chili.
Oh, so good. All right, let's hold our thoughts here. We're going to go to a quick timeout. Josh has a question for the crew. And listen, this is not an ad. This is just us talking about turkey, talking about next week. We are answering any and all questions that you might have. I just thought, why not invite the local experts who also happen to be part of the show family on a day-to-day basis?
We're talking about pie.
Pie?
Sure.
Oh, any number? Well, I want to talk to you about pie
in
a minute. I want to talk to you because there's certain pies that I'm good with. Certain pies it's a matter of taste. But let me get to Mark real quick. Speaking of wonderful advertisers to the radio show, Mark is here with Nashville Safe House, and there's a big sale and a big going on right now at Nashville Safe House, and Mark's here to talk all about it. What is going on, my friend?
Hello, Matthew.
How you doing?
I would have been listening to you, but I'm actually down at my Atlanta store right now. We opened a new store and down here doing a few things, and glad I got to talk to you this evening. Of course, it's hard to match the turkey conversation.
Dude.
But, we are the safe experts. We're not the turkey experts, but we're the safe experts.
Well, that's what you do is that you get all your Thanksgiving food and stuff ready. You go out and buy it over the weekend, and then you put it in your safe for safekeeping so nobody comes by and steals it before the big day, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. And we do something a little different at the Safe House on Friday. We don't have a Black Friday sale. We have a Green Friday sale because we save you so much money.
Love it.
So, yep. So we got a lot of specials going on, Fort Knox, Browning, Liberty, It's best selection in the Southeast. Come down by safe.
I mean, well, and I was down. I hadn't been back in a minute, and I was down a couple of weeks ago, and absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And it feels like you got more safes every time I go into the store, and you've got something for every budget, something for every price point, something for every size and shape imaginable. And you got what, 200 on the showroom floor, something like that?
Yep. Yes, sir. About 500 in stock. And, of course, we do have the Matt Murphy Safe Special. If someone comes in, we'd be happy to show them that.
Would love for you to buy the Matt Murphy Safe Special. When you go into the lobby, it's right there. I like to say, you go there, I'm just to the right of Donald Trump because Donald Trump's on the left, and my Safe Special is just to the right of DJT there in the lobby area in the showroom. So are the Browning rebates still going on too, Mark?
Yeah. Oh, yes, sir. All the way through December. So, hey, come by and save up to $400. And, of course, we have a lot of specials going on for the holidays also.
No question. I mean, look, y'all need to put a safe, if not under the tree, certainly beside the tree. And I don't mention it as much as I probably should, but in the lobby, all of those biometrics are on display too. And that's important, especially if you got young children. You want to protect yourself. You want to make sure the family's protected, but you also want to make sure that everybody's safe and secure and safe and sound. Those biometrics are amazing too.
Yeah, it's the Voltex is what you're talking about. Some of our top sellers for pistol, personal safes. Yep.
Yeah. I love it. Well, y'all go by and see Mark at Nashville Safe House. So the big sale is Friday. You call it Green Friday.
Green Friday because you save so much money. So come by and see us and save a lot of money on the safe.
Absolutely love it. Well, how's Atlanta going?
It's going really well.
Yeah.
I like Nashville better, but Atlanta's a big place, I tell you. But we've been down here for about 8 years, and we just relocated to a new side of town, so I'm down here getting that going. So.
Well, a lot of people don't know, but you are. I try to tell them as best I can, Mark. You don't like to brag on yourself, but you are the premier and best safe dealer in the United States of America, and that would put you against anybody in the world. That means that we have the finest safe dealer in the universe right here in Nashville, Tennessee, and I love it. Absolutely love everything about it.
You said it, and I appreciate that. Thank you for your
and you remain crackhead free at Nashville Safe House, right?
Well, don't let a crackhead or an illegal deliver your safe. So, yes, sir.
I love it. Mark, thank you, brother. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Be safe getting home. And if I don't see you before, I'll pop by on Black Friday, brother.
Yeah, come by and see me. Thanks.
All right. Take care. There's Mark from Nashville Safe House. NashvilleSafehouse.com, NashvilleSafehouse.com, 4th Avenue South in Nashville. Hey, folks, Matt Murphy, Alpha and Omega on my mind. So 70% of cyber attacks happen to small to medium-sized businesses, right? I just talked to Mark. He's a small to medium-sized business. I'm talking to Savory Spice. They're a small to medium-sized business. Bottom line is this. If you're a business owner and you don't have adequate cybersecurity, you're at risk. I'm sorry to say, because they're coming after you. They do it through ransomware attacks. They do it through attacking your cyber network and gleaning information from you, and then they sell it off to the highest bidder, or they hold you ransom against that information. That's bad news, right? If you don't have the proper IT company that's protecting you, you could be at risk. Let's not risk that. Let's get to Alpha and Omega. Michael and his team, incredible at what they do. And everything that they do is located right here in Middle Tennessee, which I absolutely love. So if you make a call to Alpha and Omega, you're talking to somebody in Middle Tennessee. You're not talking to somebody in another state, and you're certainly not talking to somebody in another country, and you're certainly not talking to some AI bot, which is sadly what a lot of these companies do nowadays. Average response time to a ticket is what they call it is 4 minutes. That's jiffy quick. Give them a call today and ask them how they can service your company with an IT contract through Alpha and Omega. 615-784-0096. 615-784-0096 or ANO.net. That's A&O.net. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It is Thursday, My Friday Super Talk. And Holly and David are in studio from Savory Spice answering any and all of your Thanksgiving questions that you might have, your queries that you might have, and giving stuff away. You know, Jackson, there's stuff in here for you. Did you know that?
You haven't given it away yet?
No, we haven't. No, we're not going to give away your stuff. We're going to give you your stuff, buddy. But we also have, wet brine, dry brine, is that just a matter of taste, or do you have one that you prefer?
I like them both, but we tend to dry brine because we don't have an extra refrigerator and the water and the capacity. You can certainly put it on the deck in a cooler, but we tend to dry brine. I think we like it better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is that in the brining package that you gave us?
Oh, I'll show you.
Okay.
We've got some brining mix, which is basically salt and sugar.
Yeah.
And a bunch of spices.
Salt and sugar.
Yeah.
More salt
than sugar.
Right.
And that's what you
Is
use.
the sugar caramelize?
So when you're brining, what it's doing is
not caramelized.
Yeah, it's like osmosis, right? So if you're wet brining, it's equalizing the moisture in the bird and outside with the salt. If you're dry brining, it actually pulls the moisture out of the bird and then pulls it back in because it's all about equilibrium.
Yeah.
So as you're doing it, that salt, when it goes back in, it brings the flavors with it down into the bird.
Jeremiah has a question about turkeys. Jeremiah, you're on with Holly and David and Matt Murphy on Super Talk. What's up?
Thank you for taking my call. Now, what I was wanting to share with y'all, my mother and father immigrated here in 1956 during the Hungarian Revolution, and all those Hungarians that settled on the south side of Chicago, the traditional way they made turkey was, and I used to watch my mother do it, she'd cook a chicken and she'd debone it, chop it up. She'd add her rye breadcrumbs to it, celery, onion, different seasonings. She'd stuff it in that bird, then she'd brush that bird down with butter, put it in a brown paper shopping bag, roll it up, and bake it in an oven in that. And then when it was done, she'd pull that rack out and tear that brown paper bag open, and you could smell that turkey all through the house. And there was no dry meat on the breast because she baked the bird breast side down. But the unique way that the Hungarians baked their turkeys in a brown paper bag, it just did something with the flavor that was just so unique. And the stuffing was cooked in the turkey with the turkey.
So, yeah, I mean, it's fascinating. And Jeremiah, I mean, obviously that's an incredible story and just a different way of doing things. I don't know of another food item, I mean, that we cook less in our homes, but we have so many different ways and different opinions about how to do it in our homes. Does that make sense?
It does. And Jeremiah, it sounds delicious.
I mean, yeah.
It sounds really good. And I'm pretty amazed that the brown paper bag didn't catch on fire in the oven.
That's what I was thinking, too.
But, hey, your mama knew what she was doing. Obviously, it sounds really, really good. And, you know, we don't really traditionally stuff turkey anymore when it bakes because of the heat differential that David can talk more about food sciencey things. But you're right. We all cook it a different way, and there's not necessarily a wrong or a right.
Right. So people talk about what's the thing where they split, they break it. Spatchcocking. That's a big deal for people. You can roast, you can fry, you can smoke, which is delicious. Obviously, you've got I've heard of the breast side down. I've never had it, but some people just believe in it.
Well, it's really interesting because cooking in the brown paper bag is almost going to braise it. So it uses the steam from its own juices to keep it that moist thing. So I can see that working. I've never tried it. It might be something to try one day.
Why do I feel like if we ever tried that the brown paper bag would explode?
Well,
that's
especially
what would happen at my house.
That's what would happen at my
when
house.
you do a lot of smoking, you know, as you're smoking the meat, a lot of times you take it off and you wrap it in butcher paper and then put it back on the smoker, and it does just fine. So unless you're at really high temperatures, if you keep that temperature in that 300 range, I think it'd do all right.
Mm-hmm.
I would use butcher paper, not a brown paper bag.
Yeah,
but it's an interesting idea. I may have to try.
Someone else says, I use a brown paper bag over my bird Also, you must rub it with Crisco first, and it will not burn.
Oh, the bag.
The bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'd be willing to give that a shot. I know I'd hit the element in the heating oven with the bag. I just know I would, but I'd be willing to try it.
Do you need to? I see. And when we've smoked, my father-in-law has smoked, but he normally does breasts. So I don't know that I've ever had a whole bird. So someone's asking, do you have to spatchcock any bird that you smoke?
No, you can do it whole or spatchcock. Spatchcock's going to let it cook a little bit faster, but I tend to do them as a whole bird. Just put them in there, check my temperature probes in the fattest part of the thigh and the fattest part of the breast.
Nice. And 7503 says, yes, Crisco the bag, not the bird. I mean, you Crisco the bird too if you want.
I can actually consider Thanksgiving the holiday of butter. There's so much butter in our house on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, sure.
Butter the bird, butter everything.
All the butter and all the brown things that you can possibly put in your mouth. Speaking of, we're going to talk about dressing versus stuffing, or as they call it on. Have you seen the online video? The old lady talking about in the butt or out of the butt.
No, but I understand.
think I want to.
Well, it's her daughter, and she apparently is pretty famous, and it's her daughter talking to her about, and she says, well, Mom, you were telling me about, how you guys used to do it. Just, would you describe that? And she says, well, I know some people like it in the butt and some people like it out of the butt. And she, for 3 minutes, is talking about dressing/stuffing. And I turned 12, and it's just, it is the fun. If y'all know it, you know it. If you don't find it, it is hilarious.
I'll find it.
It is an 80-year-old woman talking about dressing/stuffing, whether you put it inside the bird or outside the bird. Just the way that she describes it is hilarious. All right, Holly and David are with us. I got a lot of questions here on the Super Text line, plus your calls coming up. 615-737-9986. Grace Point Healthcare is affordable, convenient, and comprehensive medicine at a direct pay primary care provider. Now, why is direct pay important to you? One, because you know exactly what your healthcare is costing you up front. You know, we've talked in the past, healthcare is weird because we don't really know what it costs. When we walk into our doctor's office, oftentimes, if you're using someone else, you just wonder what your copay is. Well, that's not the way to do it for a couple of reasons. Number one, you don't know what it's costing you. Number two, you're allowing the insurance company to insert themselves between you and your doctor, between you and those medical decisions that ought to be intimate between yourself and your physician, right? So with that in mind, Grace Point Healthcare is here for you. 599-6868. Modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. The old-fashioned way means that you make those decisions between you and your doctor. You can obviously file with your insurance company for reimbursement, and they have the Smart Care Plan, which is paid for by your HSA. So if you have a health savings account, $99 a month, you get unlimited office visits throughout the course of the year, $79 for the kids, and you don't have to worry about it. Plus, you get free basic labs and diagnostics as well. And you don't have to wait, which is the big selling point for me. I hate it when you call your doctor and they're like, oh, well, you can get in 2 weeks. I'm sick right now. At Grace Point, they don't believe in it. They don't believe in those wait times, so you can get same-day or next-day appointments at Grace Point. 599-6868. Modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. Hey, friends, Matt Murphy. You know, obviously, we've been talking about the holidays with Thanksgiving around the corner and Christmas right behind it. It means Christmas parties and get-togethers and eating. Sure, I mean, there's a lot of food that goes down during the holidays. Family outings, corporate parties, company parties, and the like. What if I told you that you could make an appointment with Contours LLC, and without any downtime, without any pain, without any complications, you could lose 2+ inches on your first appointment in your midsection with Contours? It is a fact. I lost 2.5 inches in my midsection, first appointment. $99 special. Plus, ask them about the Murph. The Murph is a wonderful package where you're going to get maintenance just let Keith and Stephanie tell you all about the package, because if you sign up for 6 visits, you're going to get maintenance at a low rate of cost. Just ask them about the Murph when you call or make the appointment today. Plus, don't forget, $99 Belly Buster Special. Fat loss with no incisions, no downtime, no pain, no complications through red light technology that reduces body fat naturally. This works. I know it sounds too good to be true, but it is not. ContoursLLC.com. Make the call that so many others have made. I've lost the weight. You can too. Contours LLC. 615-236-9960. 236-9960 for Contours. All right, winding down a lively show. Thank you to Jay St. Clair, FriJay on Thursday. Thank you to David and Holly with Savory Spice, who are sitting in with us, and we're going to get to all of your questions and comments regarding turkey, etc. I've always been of the opinion that dressing is something that comes out of a pan and stuffing is something that comes out of a bird. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. I think that's fair.
Is that fair?
But I think that it is more uncommon now for people to actually put stuffing into a bird because of the risk of salmonella. And I also believe that it's a southern versus northern. It's not gray versus blue, but dressing is normally a southern word and stuffing is usually a northern expression.
Every time we talk about dressing, it is my I go back to a memory of my childhood, and it is one of my most treasured memories, and it happened every Thanksgiving. And I can remember it from the time I can first remember things to the time that my grandmother passed away. And it was my grandmother would mix up the dressing in her big bowl before she put it in the oven. And it was raw, but she always cooked the eggs and cut the cooked eggs into the dressing. And I don't know why she did it this way, but it was absolutely delicious. But she would set out a small bowl, and this was exclusively for my grandfather, and he was to test the dressing before she put it in the oven. And she would say, "You need tell me what that needs." And he would take a spoon, and he would take every year, same thing. "You need to tell me what that needs." He would take a bite, and he would say, "Needs more sage." Every year.
Always the sage.
That's the entire.
The sage.
That's the entire story.
Yes.
But it's just such a special memory. Needs more sage, and he would walk away.
Yeah.
And then I would get to eat the rest of it.
Yeah. And poultry seasoning is normally a dressing/stuffing seasoning that is primarily sage. But that's normally what it's used for, as opposed to actually putting it in poultry. It's for Thanksgiving. We sell more poultry seasoning in the month of November than we ever do at any other time during the year.
I was going to ask you, what are your best sellers? I mean, I assume that pumpkin spice is a pretty big seller this time of year.
Right now, pumpkin pie spice is a very big seller. Our holiday sugars are a very big seller. Our number one seller is actually our Nashville hot fried chicken spices. But we had a lady come in the first year we were open, and she wanted to make a Nashville hot turkey, and it was apparently delicious because she walked in on Black Friday and said it was the best turkey she ever had.
What?
Right?
I never thought of that.
Oh, yeah.
Nashville hot turkey.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
I think. Have you ever said this publicly before? Because I think we just coined it on the Matt Murphy Show.
Nashville hot turkey?
Yeah.
We just did it.
Forget Nashville hot chicken.
Let's go.
Nashville hot turkey.
Nashville hot turkey.
Let's rock this stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Barbara wants to talk with you. Yeah, slip those on. Barbara, you're on with Holly and David.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, honey. I just want to throw this out there. Yes, we have cooked turkeys in paper bags since the 1950s. It is a very popular, still people do it. My mom did it. But on stuffing, there's a huge difference between stuffing and dressing. Dressing is like oyster or pork, like sausage. And then stuffing is cornbread and usually no meat.
Okay.
I got you. And I'm getting educated on, and thank you, Barbara, for the call. I'm getting educated on why my grandmother. So, yeah, she did have giblets. And, yeah, she always cut the eggs up in the giblets. So I guess maybe her giblets did not spread through the turkey well enough, so she cut up boiled eggs because somebody's saying that the boiled eggs mimic giblets. Okay. Who knew?
I can always remember my mom or my grandmother would have a pot of like giblets and necks on the stove.
Oh, yeah. Yum. No? Not so much yum.
No.
See, my thing about
my mom's probably watching.
Hey, Mom. My thing about the whole stuffing in the that doesn't gross me out, and I've had it in the back. It's not a big enough cavity so I can have leftovers later on. There's not enough.
Well, the way I look at it is, and I can't prove this, so this is just an opinion. If you stuff that cavity, then it fills that air pocket, where if you leave it open, hot air can go in and it can cook that turkey breast from both the inside and the outside. So you get a more even cook rather than having it stuffed all full of stuffing and having the heat have to come in from the outside all the way to the middle of that stuffing.
I've also heard, and this is probably an old wives' tale because what I don't know about cooking could fill this room and 10 just like it, but that the stuffing pulls the moisture.
I believe it.
Right? And if the stuffing pulls the moisture, then you're drying the bird out.
Yeah, and if we're making a roast turkey, we tend to put aromatics in the cavities: celery, onion, lemon, orange.
Oh, yeah. That you're going to throw away afterwards.
That we're going to throw away afterwards, yeah.
But, no, that makes sense. Betty is in Hendersonville with a question. Hey, Betty.
Hello. I'm so glad I made it home in time with the traffic to be able to ask a couple questions, if that's okay.
Yes, ma'am.
My first question is about the sparkle syrup because I have grandkids. My grandbabies come visit on the holidays, and it sounds like something that I would want to use to make treats for them, like, maybe waffles or something along those lines.
100%, Betty. You need this in your life.
Betty, your pancakes and your waffles will never be happier if, you've got sparkle syrup.
Oh, she's got a little mini bottle. It's like, if you think of sparkle syrup as alcohol, it's like a little
shot.
Little shot. Yeah, she's got a little shot bottle of it right here in the studio with us, Betty.
There it is. But Betty, we will
love
have
this
some
stuff.
for you.
I'm going all in. I'll get a big one.
Oh yeah. So sparkle syrup. See, I got my hand slapped by Holly Saturday because I was talking about the sparkle syrup, and people are coming in expecting sparkle syrup, but it isn't coming in until the day after Thanksgiving.
It will debut at 10 o'clock on Black Friday morning. Betty, if you would like me to, I will be very happy to hold a bottle for you.
Oh, thank you. And then my other question is, I never heard of a dry rub before. Or dry brine, rather. I'm sorry, dry brine, not dry. I do dry rub. Dry brine.
Okay.
So do you have like a kit for that kind of a thing that I could come in and get maybe and check it out and try it? Because it sounds like something I would like to try.
Absolutely, Betty. We've got turkey brining kits that include the brining mix that you will need to either wet or dry brine your bird, as well as our roast turkey rub, which is a really traditionally flavored roast turkey rub. And it also has the instructions in there, and everybody who works in our store is highly educated on brining, and we can stand there and teach you how to dry brine, and David's actually really, really good at it too. So if he's in the store or if I'm in the store, we can explain exactly how to dry brine. It's very easy. You basically pack the bird in the dry brine and put it in the fridge. You're done.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, we will be coming by Saturday, my oldest granddaughter and I. So
Betty,
I will be checking that out.
All right, here's what we're going to do, Betty. You go and you buy lots of things from Savory Spice, but you're not going to buy the dry brine because Holly gave Erica and I a dry brine, and we will not be using it this year, and so I'm going to pass that gift along to you. So Holly's going to have the dry brine in the store for you, and that's on us on Super Talk and on Savory Spice, okay?
Oh, well, thank you so much, Holly. I look forward to seeing y'all in person on Saturday, and I can't wait to crack out the sparkle syrup on my grandbabies when it comes in. I'm looking forward to that. So thank you all. Have a blessed and wonderful day.
You do too.
Matt, you have a good weekend. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, Betty.
Take care, Betty. Yeah. The sparkle syrup, it's a big hit for children and for men who think they are children.
Yes. Cocktails.
Cocktails? What?
Sparkly cocktails.
How do you do that? What are you talking about?
Put it in with your cocktail mix and your liquor and
Okay. All right. I'm all in.
sparkle up.
I kind of dig that.
If you got something that needs a little sugar instead of sugar, use a little maple syrup.
I'm starting to pick up what y'all are laying down, and I kind of like it. All right, I've got to get to a couple of these questions.
This is Jackson, so we don't want to give it away.
Oh, Jackson, you got sparkle syrup, buddy.
Woo!
And were you listening to Holly moments ago?
Yes.
She told you what to do with it?
The hot chicken?
No. The sparkle syrup. Liquor and sparkle syrup. That's what she said.
Yeah, you get drunk with the sparkle syrup. It's got liquor in it?
I don't think she said that. It does not have liquor in it, but you can add the alcohol if you are of age and enjoy responsibly.
Matt, am I of age?
Barely. I've seen you drink. Before and after a Tennessee loss. Question for Holly. I'm your mom's hairdresser.
Hi.
Can you make your vanilla extract by putting vanilla beans sliced in vodka?
Yes, you can. We recommend 5 vanilla beans per 12 ounces of spirit. And you slice open those vanilla beans and put them down in the bottle. And you're going to want to give it about 3 to 5 weeks. And poof, you've got vanilla extract. Although I prefer Jack Daniels to vodka.
So it's like you're talking a different language right now. So you're saying you can make vanilla extract out of alcohol and vanilla beans?
You can.
Yes.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Science.
And then if you want to use the Jack Daniels in the said sparkly cocktail, you've got vanilla Jack Daniels. Or vanilla vodka.
Wait, so where does the extract come from?
So extract
Well, she's
is,
talking about two different things.
Okay.
Extract,
Confused.
and then if you want to make
if you're
vanilla
just
flavored
looking,
Jack.
I got you.
Okay.
That makes sense. I got you now. I got you. You can make the vanilla extract, or you can make the vanilla.
Extract
vodka or
is
whatever
basically an alcohol that has the vanilla compounds dissolved in it. It has to be 34% alcohol by volume in order for it to be called an extract.
Green bean casserole. Love it. Hate it. How do you make it?
I don't care for it.
It's okay. There are no right answers.
I actually really like fresh green beans sautéed with one of our seasonings called Capitol Hill, which is a shallot-based seasoning. I just really like them that way, or roasted in the oven. That's my preference. The green bean casserole, just no thanks. But
It's a texture thing for her, I think.
Yeah.
But we do have a lot of really delicious things that you can put in a green bean casserole. And yes, for sure, the fried onions should go on top of it, because that's also a debate. Dressing, stuffing, fried onions or no, I say go with the fried onions.
I think a sweet potato casserole / souffle. My grandmother always called it souffle, and she always put the marshmallows on top and put it back in the oven and like brown the marshmallows on top. And I think that's a debate as to whether the marshmallows should be there or not. I think it's more of a casserole if they're not.
It shouldn't be. The marshmallows have to be there.
I would agree, but see, I was never a fan of sweet potato souffle only because it's a lot of savory things on my plate, and it's way too sweet. It felt like it didn't really have a place. It didn't have a place at the dessert table, and I didn't feel like it had a place at on the regular plate.
I love it right next to the turkey.
We always did. My grandmother did this. She called it Watergate salad. And that was always a Thanksgiving thing too.
Was it a Jell-O thing?
And it's you know what, I thought it was so fancy when I was a kid. I thought it was the fanciest thing on the face of the earth. It's like pistachio pudding, and it's like pistachio pudding and nuts and marshmallows and Cool Whip, and you whip it all, and it's a sweet that goes on the plate next to all of the rest of the stuff.
Well, a lot of things in the 70s were called salad that really weren't salad. They were more like Jell-O things.
We tend to do our yams not as a souffle, but more like cut up whole pieces with brown sugar and butter. And then after those are cooked, then we put the marshmallows on top. And yeah, you can't beat those.
I am what I am.
We make extras of those.
This is Josh. Sorry I had to hang up. Shout out to Savory Spice. I'm a very serious cook, and their store's amazing.
Well, thank you.
Josh.
Well, thank you guys for stopping by.
You're very welcome.
Is there anything else we need to know before we go? We got like a minute.
I will throw this out for folks. Most people get their turkeys, from the grocery store and stuff, and don't know that is a commercialized bird called a broad-breasted white. There are also heritage breeds that are out there. There's about 8 or 9 of them. And if you can ever get your hands on one of those, try it for Thanksgiving as a little extra special. Bourbon Red is really good, but there's about 7 or 8 different breeds that are different, and they taste different, and give it a try.
A little more money, but worth it?
A little more money, but I would say it's worth it.
That's once a year, too.
Yeah.
And we are also...
And something different.
In addition to the turkey, we also have a brisket coming because
we
sometimes our
always do something
turkey is
different.
cow.
Why not?
Yes.
Y'all go get the Savory Spice in Franklin, just off the square. You smell it before you see it. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
We appreciate you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming in. That's going to wrap it up. It's the Matt Murphy Show. Wait, that's not going to wrap it up?
You're coming back for a segment.
Am I? Okay.
A quick one.
I'm coming back for a quick segment. It's 54 after the hour on Super Talk. Hey, friends, it's Matt Murphy. Tennessee Men's Clinic has now three separate locations to serve you in Middle Tennessee. The first OG opened in 2014. Evan Bass and his team wanted to help you guys figure out energy levels. You know, guys, for a long, long time, They felt like, well, if my energy level falls off, that's just the product of being middle-aged or a little bit older. And then that translated to bedroom activity. And I know that's an intimate conversation, but gentlemen, if this is happening to you, you don't have to go through life without intimacy. You can get to the Tennessee Men's Clinic, and one-on-one individually as a urology-based clinic, they're going to figure out exactly what's going on in your body. They'll take a little blood work. First appointment, $99 for the first appointment. They're going to get some blood work, and if medically advised, they'll give you your first treatment on the first a day. Let's get this behind us, Ben. Let's get off the bench and back into the game with the Tennessee Men's Clinic. Locations in Nashville, in Cool Springs, and now brand new location in Clarksville. 615-208-9090 to schedule an appointment at any of those locations. 615-208-9090 or TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. That's TennesseeMen'sClinic.com.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Work with the #1 real estate team in the U.S. and close with confidence. Go to markspain.com today.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. That's going to wind it down. Jackson, have a great weekend, my friend. Have fun with Cameron Smith tomorrow. Love you long time. You got sparkle syrup in here. Woo! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all have a fun Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday for the Nashville Rescue Mission Radiothon. That's happening all day Monday on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Until next time, Matt Murphy speaking and saying, hug your loved ones. So long, everybody.